Conqueror's winding. When Crocodile sees the entwined hockey on Luffy's knee, his eyeballs are about to pop out in fright. Who is qualified to entangle Conqueror's hockey? Let's put it this way, his crocodile grows so big, he has never seen others use Conqueror's winding. He just heard about it. He knows that One Piece Roger will use this, but when people use it, he, Crocodile, is not there. He also knows that Whitebeard will use this, and he has fought Whitebeard before, but obviously, he is not qualified for Whitebeard to use Conqueror's winding. In short, in his cognition, those who can use Conqueror's winding are all kings or leaders of all ages. Although Crocodile has never seen what Conqueror's entanglement looks like before, but this does not prevent him from instantly distinguishing it when he encounters a Conqueror's entanglement. This is Conqueror's winding. Before Luffy's knee touched Crocodile, the violent Conqueror's power hit Crocodile's chin. At this moment, time seems to be frozen. Blood is like a blooming flower, blooming instantly on Crocodile's face. Click. The clear sound of bone cracking echoes in this wild port. Boom. As Luffy loosened Crocodile's head, the patron saint of Alabasta threw himself at Luffy's feet without moving. Hiss. When this scene appeared, the movie viewers gasped suddenly. Darth Bonus. The second kill. As a staunch follower of Crocodile, Dosbonus, once code-named Mr. One, opened his mouth wide in shock and stared at the scene on the red frame screen in disbelief. In his eyes, Crocodile is already like a king. And that little guy killed Crocodile in one hit. This. How strong is his strength? Capone beige. Phew. It's so shocking. Only a simple and unpretentious knee pumping ended the battle directly. Although I was prepared in my heart according to the options just now, but when I saw this scene, I felt how shocking. Don Quixote da Flamingo. What a simple and unpretentious Furophorophore. Boy. Do you have any misunderstanding about the simplicity? Charlotte Linlin. Has the kid's Conqueror's entanglement reached such a freewheeling level? Watching the Red Luffy's performance just now in the red frame video, Charlotte Linlin immediately has a clearer understanding of Luffy's talent potential. In her heart, she firmly wants to marry Luffy. Anyway, there are so many daughters. In the worst case, the Overlord will force his bow. We must get the kid's genes. Goldie Roger. It's really strong. He has strength, but he never underestimates his opponents. Every time he takes a shot, he rushes to end the battle. Even if I meet such a guy, I have to go all out. Shanks. Indeed, as long as Red Luffy recognizes you as an enemy, he won't hold back. Buggy. What's more terrible, he still insists on making up. As soon as I finished saying this, the crocodile on the screen was tragic. Looking at the motionless crocodile on the ground, Zoro immediately picked up the rope to tie it up. However, Luffy said, "Don't tie him up. For such a person, letting him live one more day is the greatest injustice to those who died of drought." 1. Zoro heard the words, so he threw the rope to Sanji. Kangling. Snow out of sheath. The jet black armament hockey was wrapped around Yukizu's blade immediately. Brush. Crocodile's head moved immediately. Crocodile. Ah. Although it was him over there who died, Crocodile still couldn't help but feel a chill in his neck when he watched this scene. He looked at Luffy beside him, and suddenly felt an urge to take revenge. However, this idea only appeared in his mind for a moment and then disappeared immediately. If it was before, he still has a chance, but now. After Luffy got the reward, his fruit ability has been awakened. Crocodile didn't think he had a chance to kill him. If you really do something to Luffy, if you can really kill it. But if it doesn't work, not only Luffy will not let him go, but also the marine hero Garp and the leader of the Leather Army, Dragon, will not let him go. Probably sensing Crocodile's gaze, Luffy turned his head and looked at Crocodile, revealing a big mouthful. White Fang. You over there are so unlucky. Puff. Crocodile suddenly felt a rush of blood in his heart. Nima, he still finds it funny? It's really annoying. Ding. Anyone who answers wrongly in this prize quiz will be punished. Kid Eustace. The right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and 8 days of life will be deducted. Kuzan. The right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and the life expectancy will be deducted for 10 months and 27 days. Jack. The right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and life will be deducted, 8 months and 22 days. Kuzan. So much deduction, Paluzalino. Woo, it's also an answer. Look at you, and then look at Sakazuki. Kid Eustace. I have been detained for 3 months, it's okay, not a big problem. Ding. The top 3 correct answers to this quiz are Capone Beige, Sakazuki, and Zephyr. Congratulations to the 3. Get rewards. Congratulations to Capone Beige, the reward is Unshakable Lock. Congratulations Sakazuki, award Lava Style. Congratulations to Zephyr, reward 15 years younger. Zephyr. Haha. This old man is 15 years younger. As soon as the rewards were issued, Zephyr's appearance became visibly younger. The original 73-year-old physical age suddenly became 58-year-old physical age. Almost as big as Kizaru. The original heavy breathing and feeling of weakness disappeared in an instant. Monkey D. Garp. That's great, Zephyr, we're all getting younger. Zephyr. Yeah, Garp, feels great. Gold D. Roger. I feel similar to you, I am younger, but some people want to become younger and fail, and the result is 1 year older, ha ha ha. Sengoku. Damn it, Roger, you can just report my name. Don't be so weird. Gold D. Roger. No, it's not interesting to say that there is a yin and yang, haha. Shiki. Roger, you are so bad. But the old man likes it, gee ha 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 ha. Ding. Because the unshakable lock and blood succession boundary, lava style, are magical things from Otherworld, special remarks are made. Remarks on the unshakable lock, safe grade special collection. The unshakable lock is a neon sign marked, open. When the unshakable lock is placed in a building with windows and its power source is removed, the building will not be accessible. We call it the lock-in effect. When the lock-in effect is activated, all kinds of damage and attacks including but not limited to wind, heat, kinetic energy impact, hollowing out the foundation, digging tunnels, electric current, microwave, etc. will not be able to damage the building. The shock caused by these attacks on the interior of the building has been almost weakened to the point where the water waves are not happy. When the locking effect is activated, even if all the doors and windows of this building are opened, nothing from the outside world can still enter, as if these doors and windows have never been opened. People inside can leave at any time, but cannot return to the building until the lock effect is lifted. Only when the unshakable place is reconnected to the power supply, the locking effect will be automatically released. Skulikmanip. Nani. As this unshakable lock so ridiculously strong. Hey hey hey. Capone is invincible after being hit. Trafalgar Law. This lock. Outrageous. Apu is in charge, be confident. You can change the tone of doubt to affirmation. Kid Eustace. This guy's luck is too good. In this way, Capone Beige can walk sideways no matter where he goes. Rox D. Zebek. What are you guys talking about? Isn't it just a lock that can lock a building? Although it can make the building have an almost invincible defense, he can't hide in the building and can't come out. Gold D. Roger. Yes. People need to eat. If you want to deal with the owner of this lock, there are many ways. Just surround and not fight. He will either starve to death inside, or come out and be beaten to death. Nami. No. Capone Bega's devil fruit is a castle fruit. He is a big castle himself. The crew of his pirate group usually live in his body. If he puts this unshakable lock in his body, wouldn't he be directly invincible? Shiki. Nani. It turned out that someone with the castle fruit ability got this lock. Gold D. Roger. No way. So that's the situation. Rox D. Zebek. Castle fruit plus unshakable lock. This is a perfect match. At first, I thought that this lock was not worth making a fuss about, but now I learned that Capone Beige is actually a castle fruit ability user, and everyone was shocked. Paluzalino. These supernovas were already strong like monsters, but now they have acquired some magical abilities or items, so it's troublesome now. Crane. Those who have their own forces, it's okay to say that the strong are rewarded, like these newly emerging supernovas who are rewarded. They will definitely not be content with their current status and power, and will definitely set off a wave of chaos in the sea. It's bloody. Sengoku. Anyway, pirates are the biggest cause of unrest in the world. Blood succession boundary, changed, line done remarks. The 5 basic techniques are water style, fire style, earth style, wind style, lightning style. The fusion of fire style and earth style will produce lava style. It is similar to the line escape obtained by Doflamingo last time. and the remarks are all explained in one sentence. Kuzan. Is it gone? Poluseno. Why is this similar to the reward Doflamingo got? Sengoku. Sakazuki, how about this reward? Sakazuki. Strong. Very strong. And it matches my lava fruit ability very well. It can be said that the so-called escapism is actually a kind of allows elemental powers to be strengthened and ultimate wielded abilities. Gion. Similar to what Paramecia devil fruit can do. Sakazuki. Your analogy is very suitable, of course, it is not exactly the same. Crane. So it seems that Doflamingo has obtained the line escape, and his current strength must not be underestimated. Don Quixote Doflamingo. Foofer Furfer. Granny Crane, don't miss me so much, I will panic. A small island behind naval headquarters, Blackbeard Teach looked at this reward and fell into thinking. Although the ability of the castle fruit is not top-notch, but if you add this unshakable weapon. If you don't succeed in capturing the Whitebeard shock fruit this time, you can get this devil fruit and the unshakable locked together. Thinking of this, Blackbeard Teach silently remembered the name of Capone Beige in his heart. It's a pity. What about 88 million Baileys? Nami flipped through the notepad, and when taking notes before, he also excerpted Crocodile's bounty. She sighed. This damn guy, he insisted on joining the 7 warlords of the sea, so that we can't exchange his head for a bounty. It's okay, there is another one who came with him, the reward is probably not low, check it out. Luffy shrugged his shoulders, then looked at Robin, and said, would you like to cooperate and introduce yourself? At this time, Buggy said, this one needs no introduction, she is the famous son of the devil, Nico Robin. Son of the devil. Hearing such a unique title, Luffy and the others all opened their mouths in astonishment. Luffy looked at Buggy in surprise. What do you mean? Could it be that she is a child of a devil? There really are creatures like devils in this world? Buggy shook her head. It's not really a demon, but the name given to her by the government of the world. It happened about 20 years ago. There used to be a place. It's called Ohara, and it's said that the people there wanted to research the ancient weapon that could destroy the world, but they were wiped out by the world government. Only one fish slipped through the net, and that's her. Nami opened his mouth wide. Has the whole country been wiped out? That's right. It's the whole country. At that time, the government of the world dispatched Buster Call directly. As long as there is anyone above my age who doesn't know about this, bah. Key said. Found it. Nico Robin's reward order, 79 million Baileys. At this time, Nami found Nico Robin's reward order in the reward order booklet she bound, and Bailey's light suddenly appeared in her eyes. Because she bound it according to the spelling order, so it is still very fast to turn. So much money. Luffy was also pleasantly surprised. But at the next moment, Nami suddenly changed his face and exclaimed, what? What's wrong? Luffy took the reward order curiously. Suddenly slightly stunned. When I was 8 years old, I was offered a reward of 79 million. The high reward price for an 8-year-old child shows how much the world government wants to kill her. Nico Robin. Look at the situation, did I get sold by Luffy? Vinsmoke Sanji. He dares. I beat him to death. Nami. Probably not. So far, quite a few of the partners over there have boarded the boat. Roronoa Zoro. You still have the nerve to speak. Look over there when you see Robin's bounty amount, your eyes light up. Nami. I can't just say I'm alone. Look at the red Luffy, when he saw the reward amount just now, he was almost drooling. Monkey D. Luffy. Hey, it's not me anyway. What? Is there any problem? Seeing that Luffy was surprised by the amount of her reward, Robin walked to the nearby stone and sat down slowly. After seeing Luffy's strength, she doesn't have any thoughts of resisting now. Has a problem. Luffy nodded. He pointed to the word, 8 years old, to show Robin, and said, since you were offered a reward of 79 million Baileys when you were 8 years old, the current bounty is still 79 million Baileys. It has been almost 20 years since your bounty has not increased at all. Doesn't that explain the problem? Zoro scratched his head. Luffy, what are you talking about? It's strange that the bounty doesn't go up. As long as you don't continue to do bad things, the bounty won't go up. Luffy smiled. Isn't that the problem? Isn't it weird that a guy who hasn't done anything bad for 20 years now wants to team up with Crocodile to destroy the peace of this country? Can't it be that I didn't get caught because I did something bad? Robin gently raised his left leg, put it on his right leg, put his hands behind his head, and leaned against the tree trunk behind him. Anyway, I have given up fighting, why not take it easy? Among the information provided by Princess Vivi, only Ms. in the Baroque Work Agency can directly contact Crocodile. Coincidentally, I analyzed it based on the information he gave. It seems that all the information she got was intentionally let her know by this NS Full Sunday. You were Ms. All Sunday. Why did you take the initiative to reveal this information to Princess Vivi? What is your purpose? Luffy looks at Robin calmly. Hearing this, Robin shook his head slightly, and said with a light smile, there is no purpose, just to see that little princess is too stupid, so I will reveal some information to her. Seeing that Robin was doing Tai Chi, Luffy didn't ask any more questions, and said directly, let's go. As soon as these words came out, Robin Shumei frowned. Huh? You won't arrest me for a bounty? Luffy said lightly. You revealed the information to Princess Vivi, and Princess Vivi followed me and asked me. I will clean up Crocodile, and the civilians in this country are proud to be rescued from the disaster of the Emperor. I never thought that far, said Robin. Yes, it's all accidental. However, if it weren't for you as the source, then Princess Vivi wouldn't be looking for me, and we may have left Alabasta by now. Although all of this is not your subjective purpose, you are an indispensable part of the credit for saving the civilians of Alabasta. This credit is not something that 79 million Baileys can buy. Just treat it as a crime. I won't arrest you. You go. Listening to Luffy's words, Nico Robin's eyes showed a different kind of luster. This kid speaks with reason and evidence, which makes people unable to refute. No. He is going to let me go. Why do I want to refute? Thinking of this, Nico Robin put down his hands and stood up. She patted the sand on her buttocks, looked at Luffy and said, in that case, thank you for not killing me. Speaking, Robin put his small bag on his back, turned around and left. Nico Robin. So, I'm still not on board. Vin Smoke Sanji. Damn Red Luffy, you don't want to keep Robin sauce. This makes me over there cook delicious food for Robin sauce. Trafalgar Law. Sanji is in charge, he is really different. Jewelry Bonnie. Hey. A breath of kneeling and licking comes to my face. Roronoa Zoro. The eyes of the masses are discerning. Vin Smoke Sanji. Idiot Chlorella, shut up. Wait a moment. Just then, Buggy suddenly shouted. Then he turned to look at Luffy and said, Luffy, aren't we going to circle the Grand Line and even go to Raftel, the final island? Luffy nodded. Yeah. What's the matter? For him, since he intends to see this world, the so-called final island Raftel naturally wants to see it too. Of course, if Raftel really has the treasure of One Piece, Luffy doesn't mind taking it. With Luffy's confirmation, Buggy slapped her thigh immediately. Then she can't go. Luffy picks her nostrils. Why? Buggy immediately explained. There are many stels called historical texts in this world, among which there are 4 red historical text stels. They are called landmark historical text stels. If you want to go to Raftel, you must collect all these 4 landmark historical text stels, and connect them to form 2 intersecting lines according to the 4 road signs provided on them, and the central intersection point is the location of Raftel. As an intern on the Roger Pirates ship, Buggy knows how to get to Raftel very well. Hearing this, Luffy was a little curious. The historical text stele? Has it existed for many years? At this time, Robin spoke. Yes. Those are indestructible stone tablets that have been handed down from 800 years ago, engraved on them about the history of the 100 years ago that was erased by the world government. 800 years ago. 100 years of blank history. Hearing this, Luffy showed interest on his face. If this is the case, then there should be some scenes of 800 years old on Raftel Island. He was delighted. Great. This island must be visited. Originally in Luffy's cognition, Raftel equals the island where the treasure of One Piece Roger is hidden. Hearing what Robin and Buggy said now, he immediately understands the special meaning of this island. He realizes. Roger said that his treasure was placed in Raftel. Maybe it was just a bait. Roger may have seen something on that island, and hope others can see it too. Interesting. Luffy rubbed his chin, then looked up at Robin. If I'm not mistaken, the text on these historical text stels is not a modern text, and you can translate the text on it, right? Buggy immediately corrected. Not only can she translate the text on the historical paper identification, but she is probably the only person in the world who can translate those texts. Nani. Hearing this, everyone except Buggy widened their eyes in shock. After a long time, the woman in front of me turned out to be the only seedling in the translation industry. So, am I unable to leave? Looking at the situation in front of me, Robin didn't continue to leave, Anyway, for her, no matter which organization she joins. As an excellent trader, the most basic quality is not to care about the strength of the forces. She doesn't have any ideals and goals of a normal person, she just wants to translate the historical text of this world so as to understand the blank 100 years of history. Of course, it is said that it is a betrayer. In fact, every time Robin betrayed, it was because the organization first betrayed her, and then she betrayed the organization. Otherwise, you will have a safe and stable life. However, if you want to make enemies with one force after another, isn't that a fool? Wow. Welcome to the beautiful Robin sauce. Sanji rushed over with a brisk step, and immediately slid and knelt, making an inviting gesture. Robin froze for a moment, then looked at Luffy. She is a smart person, of course she can tell at a glance that Luffy is the talker among this group of people. It's not that I have to keep you. Luffy thought for a while, and said, let's do this. I'll just wrong you to stay on our ship for a while, and when I learn your translation knowledge, you will leave immediately. Sengoku. Stupid, he's playing with fire. Crane. I actually want to study the main text of history. Hey. Kong. I just want to emphasize here. All the information on the historical text stone tablet is about ancient weapon. Anyone who studies this is trying to destroy world peace. This kind of behavior by the world's government is absolutely zero tolerance. Gold D. Roger. Ha ha ha. I didn't want to talk to you at first, but your behavior of talking nonsense with your eyes open is really annoying. Is the government of the world worried that the information of ancient weapon will be translated? He's so King stupid, I'm too embarrassed to expose you ugly guys. Shiki. Oh? Let me tell you in detail, Kazuki Odin. When I was with Captain Roger, in addition to seeing the 4 historical texts of road signs, I also saw some other historical text stels, but the records on them seemed to be about the blank history of 800 years ago, and also mentioned a huge kingdom. J. Golucia Satan-san. Shut up. Makas Mahjong, don't talk nonsense. Rox D. Zebek. Ha ha ha. What are you 2 old bastards doing in such a hurry? Just tell everyone that you have ghosts in your heart. Capone Beige. What is the Great Kingdom? Jewelry Bonnie. Yeah. Why is the history 800 years ago blank? Does it have something to do with the huge kingdom? Izan Baron versus Nashao Langsheng. Do you not understand human language? It is forbidden to inquire about things 800 years ago. Otherwise, you will be wanted for the crime of endangering world security. Monkey D. Long. There are so many 5 elders in a hurry, hee hee. It seems that I am in a hurry. Monkey D. Garp. Watching a movie is so much bullshit, Dragon, shut up. Hearing that Luffy actually wanted to learn about archaeological translation, Luo Bao suddenly laughed. Ah ha ha. Slender fingers blocked his nose, Robin shook his head. Don't think about it, I can't teach others. Why? Luffy wondered. Robin said directly. There is no reason, I just don't know how to teach you. Luffy pondered for a while, suddenly a look of surprise appeared on his face. I see. You want to protect me? Pooh. As soon as these words came out, even Nami, Zoro and others couldn't help but burst out laughing. Luffy. How did you become narcissistic? Hey. What are you talking about? Why does she want to protect you? Although Luffy's partners laughed, but when Robin heard this, a touch of surprise appeared on his delicate cheeks. She looks at Luffy, before she was just shocked by Luffy's strength. But now, Robin suddenly realizes that the boy in front of him who looks only about 16 years old must not be treated with common sense. How to say? Robin asked seriously with a face like Shisui. Luffy spread his hands to both sides. Look, you were offered a reward of 79 million Baileys when you were 8 years old. A kid at that age is considered a bad boy. It's definitely not a big deal, but the amount of reward offered by the government of the world is clearly to the extent that you must die. It means that you have something on your body that they must destroy. Strength? Impossible. Devil fruit? Impossible. Knowledge? At that age, you can only be ordered to kill because you have mastered some kind of knowledge. Of course, you don't have to show such a surprised expression. In fact, I didn't think of this level at first. But before Buggy told me that you may be the only person in the world who can translate the text of history, and I asked you to teach me, but you immediately refused to teach me. So, are you afraid that if I learn this knowledge, I will be hunted down by the government of the world just like you? Hiss, Robin's heart was shocked. What kind of monster is this boy? Surprisingly, they were quickly linked together with such a small amount of information, and made the most correct guess. Even her inner thoughts are properly grasped. At this moment, Robin even felt a little scared. If you get on the boat of such a person, it may not be a simple matter for him to keep his secret in the future. But think about it, such a guy is strong enough to instantly kill Crocodile. With such a strong IQ and reasoning ability, there is no doubt that, in the near future, such a person will definitely not be an ordinary person. Is it her turn to worry about such a person? As for herself, if she can get the protection of this person, it seems pretty good. The most important thing is, this guy now shows a strong interest in the historical text. Then, isn't this Major the right one? Robin's ideal is to translate all the historical texts in this world, and find out the history that happened 800 years ago. Now if Luffy does this, then she can do this together as long as she follows Luffy. This is much more comfortable than her constant betrayal and being betrayed among various forces before. Thinking of this, Robin immediately said, "Since you already understand the consequences this knowledge will bring to you, if you still insist on learning, I can teach you." Okay, I'll learn. If it was before, Luffy might consider it. After all, if he is ordered to be hunted down by the government of the world, he also has to consider Grandpa's feelings. But now, have been inexplicably offered a reward of 50 million Baileys, so what's the difference between being hunted down by the world's government? The maximum reward amount has increased, as the old saying goes, if you have too many lice, you don't get itchy. Probably Luffy's current state of mind. At this time, Robin said again, "But I have one condition. If you promise me, I will really teach you about archaeology." Luffy shrugged his shoulders. "Well, let's talk about it first. What is the condition?" According to Crocodile's information, there is a historical text stele under the funeral hall in the Alabasta Royal Garden. I want to translate this historical text stele. Robin stated his conditions. Hearing this, Luffy showed a troubled expression on his face. "You just don't want to teach me, it's in the funeral hall, let me go in." What is the funeral hall? To put it bluntly, it's the family's ancestral grave. And it's the royal family's ancestral tomb, so you can come in and out as you please? Robin continued. "You can ask the little princess in Alabasta for help." Little princess. Luffy thought for a while, then realized that what Luo Wu said was Princess Vivi. Luffy picked up the crocodile, which is a big credit to the whole Alabasta. And it was Princess Vivi who asked Luffy for help on this matter. So, if Luffy brings this matter up to Princess Vivi, the other party should have a high probability of accepting it. Seems to work. I can try. But I can't contact her now. I can't go to the gate of the palace and say, "Hello, let me find your princess." Luffy spreads out her hands, puff. Listening to the scene described by Luffy, Robin was amused. Then, she smiled. "Don't worry about this, I can contact you." Crocodile who died on the ground, Robin said. Now the sand crocodile just died, and no one in Baroque works knows about it. As long as I use the crocodile method to issue instructions, I can contact Ms. Wednesday. Okay. Then you can contact her. Luffy nodded, then thought of something, and said, "Wait, in addition to this, you send another order, so that the other agents of the Baroque work agency will be in full swing." "Are you going to wipe them all out?" Robin said in shock. "Yeah. They're worth a lot of money," Luffy said solemnly. Listening to this reason, the expression on Robin's face suddenly became very exciting. "Obviously I am a pirate with a bounty on offer, but I still want to arrest someone to exchange for the bounty. Aren't you afraid of being taken over by Marine when you change the bounty?" Although I was surprised by Luffy's idea, Robin still did it. The next day, the senior agent of the Baroque work agency was taken away. The Mary is docked at the wild port of the island where the 19th branch of the Marine is located. What are we waiting for here? Didn't we say that we want to exchange them for a bounty? Seeing that Luffy and others are actually practicing here, Robin is very surprised. Wait for time. Luffy picks her nostrils and continues to know about the cultivation of her partners. Waiting time? Robin looks dazed. Do these agents still have a shelf life? The night is slowly falling. The mirror-like moon hangs in the sky, pouring the brilliance as clear as flowing water onto the vast sea. Well, the moon is a little bright today, but it doesn't hinder us from doing things. Luffy looked up at the sky, then stretched out his hand and made a tactical gesture forward, immediately jumped onto the island first, and got into the grove. Buggy, Zoro, Sanji, Usopp follow. Ah! Looking at this scene, Robin opened his red lips in astonishment. He looked at the senior agents who had fainted in the shackles of the seawater barrel, and looked at Nami suspiciously. What are they going to do, Luffy? Don't you want to bring these agents? Nami smiled. Hee, you'll know later, after a while. When the 5 thugs rushed out from the woods, Robin opened his mouth wide in shock. He could almost swallow an eggplant high. Under Robin's stunned gaze, Luffy commanded, and the others came in groups of 2 and picked up the poles. Several seawater wooden barrel shackles are hung on each pole. The moonlight opened the way, and the 5 gangsters went straight to the 19th branch of the Marine. By the time I came back, those senior agents were gone, and I only brought back a bounty of 232 million Baileys. Air. That's how you exchange the bounty. Robin understood it, but he was still shocked. It wasn't originally, but then there was a little accident, so I did it. Luffy laughed, and then took everyone to count the money. Marine 19th branch. Io, it hurts me to death. What the hell? My legs and arms are swollen in 5 places, and you are only swollen in 1 place. Why are you yelling? Damn it. I was only swollen in 1 place. But the horse rider, I don't know what kind of hatred that person has with me, such a thick wooden stick, slapped my butt in the same place more than 10 times. Ouch. Just as the Marine soldiers were wailing, the financial officer with a bruised nose and a swollen face ran over. Colonel Rocky, we found out that a total of 232 million Baileys were taken away. The people in the barrel at the door also found out that they all have bounties. Their total bounty is exactly 232 million Baileys. Such a coincidence? Colonel Rocky rubbed half of his swollen face and asked in doubt. Colonel, why don't we report to our superiors that someone brought wanted criminals in exchange for a reward of 232 million Baileys? This way the superiors won't know that our base has been raided, the financial officer said in a low voice. Colonel Rocky thought for a while, and suddenly his eyes lit up. He raised his hand. No. You report it like this. Just say that this group of gangsters attacked naval headquarters at night. Colonel Ben led everyone to resist bravely, and finally arrested most of them, but 5 accomplices escaped with 332 million Bailey. Colonel, it's 232 million Baileys, the treasurer corrected. Hearing this, Colonel Rocky's face changed, and he poked the financial officer's forehead with his index finger. Are you so stupid? You obviously lost 332 million Baileys. The financial officer finally came to his senses. Ah. That's right. It's 33,200 Baileys, and there are only a few million Baileys left in the entire treasury. These bastards, damn it. Sengoku. Damn it. When the movie is over, check this Colonel Rocky for me to see if he has done this kind of operation before. Gold D. Roger. Haha. It's not much more interesting to watch the movie? Shiki. I'm dying of laughter. This Colonel Rocky only got a beating, but he was able to get 100 million berries for himself immediately from this incident, and then he won the great credit for arresting all the senior agents of the entire Baroque works. This mother is definitely a talent in Marine. Ochaku. Sengoku, you have made such a great contribution, you can't promote him to Commodore? Charlotte Linlin. Wahahahaha, Edward Newgate, Gu la 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 la. Zephyr. Hey, what a shame. Back to Alabasta, contact Princess Vivi again. Princess Vivi brought Luffy and his party into the palace. Luffy and his party are hosted by King Cobra himself with the highest royal banquet. Mr. Luffy, if Vivi hadn't told me the truth, I would still be in the dark. Cobra raises his glass to toast Luffy, before he was still wondering why it suddenly started raining all over the country. He asked the palace guards to investigate this matter, but found nothing. It wasn't until Princess Vivi returned to the palace and told him the matter that he realized that there was a noble person to help. Well, you're welcome. It's also related to Vivi, otherwise, we're already on another island. Luffy is not hypocritical, he eats meat and drinks in big bowls. Help him so much, eat him more, it's not too much. The banquet is very happy. Vivi also took the initiative to fight wine with Nami. Both of them drank peach red and willow green. Sanji hugged 4 or 5 maids, and while eating the delicious food that the maids stuffed into his mouth, he sprayed nosebleeds, and the nosebleeds probably sprayed 7 or 8 pots. During this period, Bell, the captain of the palace guard, came to Cobra several times. Cobra apologized to Luffy very politely, and then went to the door to listen to Bell. The distance from the banquet table to the door of the banquet hall is very long, and the two of you are standing outside the door. Even observation Haki cannot hear what you are talking about. However, this does not include Luffy. Luffy's observation Haki clearly heard the conversation between Cobra and Bell. Probably the content is, because Alabasta started to rain again, people celebrate everywhere. Many people hope that their patron saint, Mr. Sand Crocodile, can dedicate himself to celebrate with them. But the Sand Crocodile disappeared for several days and never showed up. Many die-hard fans began to worry about whether the Sand Crocodile was in danger, and someone called Marine to tell them about it. Naval headquarters contacted Crocodile by phone, but failed to contact. So, Marine contacted Alabasta's royal family and asked them to help pay attention to Crocodile's movements. And, Naval headquarters said that if Crocodile has not been found, the headquarters will send someone to investigate this matter in person. After talking with Bell, Cobra came back to drink with him again. He didn't mention this to Luffy this matter. Luffy didn't ask much. Mr. Luffy, on behalf of the people of the entire Alabasta, I would like to express my sincerest respect to you and your partners. If you have any requests and needs, just mention it to me. As a king, Cobra must express his sincerity to Luffy. How can it be just a banquet? However, the tax revenue of the Alabasta royal family is not high, and because of the drought in the past 2 years, Cobra allocated funds for disaster relief everywhere, resulting in the treasury running out of money. Otherwise, Cobra will directly throw out 1 billion Baileys to thank Luffy right now. Instead of waiting anxiously for Luffy to speak, Luffy thought about it, then smiled. Actually, I learned about it through Vivi. Your royal family's treasury is also tight now. But since you have spoken, I want a billionaire. Just take it as compensation for me. Make up. Hearing this, Cobra didn't quite understand. It's nothing, anyway, just give me 200 million Baileys. Luffy didn't explain much, just clarified the number. 200 million Baileys is actually quite nervous for the current Alabasta royal family, but by tightening their belts, the money can still be squeezed out. Okay. In addition to 200 million Baileys, you should also bring more wine and ingredients from the palace. King Cobra is not a small person, although 200 million berries will make the current Alabasta royal family feel uncomfortable for a while. But for what Luffy is doing, this is really a small amount of money. A few days later, Mary is docked at the wild port of Rapeseed City. Except for Luffy, everyone is on board, Rapeseed Flower City, downtown. On the dome of the tallest building, a figure appears here. Look. There are people there. It's the favorite place for the patron saint, Mr. Crocodile. Is Master Crocodile back? No. No. He's not Mr. Crocodile. He's the big pirate monkey D. Luffy with a bounty of 50 million Baileys. I remember him. He fought with Mr. Crocodile and defeated Mr. Crocodile. Look. What is he holding in his hand? I can't see clearly. Soon, there will be a large crowd gathered here, and there will be many Marines who come to investigate the disappearance of the crocodile. Luffy is standing on the dome, looking down. His hand is holding the head of Crocodile. Although so many days have passed, under the ability of Nami's slippery fruit, microorganisms cannot enter this head, so Crocodile's head is still lifelike. Crocodile was killed by him, so no matter how Cobra explains it to Marine, it will definitely not make sense. As for revealing the truth about Crocodile's crimes and dancing fans to the common people, don't even think about it. People only believe what they see with their own eyes. Including Luffy himself as well. Even if he met Crocodile for the first time, he thought Crocodile was a model worker, serving the people. Combined with the previous palace dancing fan incident, if Cobra wants to reveal the truth to the people, he will only be considered to be framing Crocodile in the end. Many people even think that Cobra must be jealous of Crocodile's reputation in the hearts of the people, so he brutally killed the patron saint of the people of Alabasta. Of course, these civilians cannot be blamed too much for this. After all, their strength and vision determine that they cannot see the truth clearly. Now that Luffy is standing here, he intends to end it. Crocodile was killed by him, so he intends to let more people know. However, in this way, the dead Crocodile is really a good guy, and he, Luffy, is confirmed as the big villain. When I asked for 200 million Baileys from Cobra before, the make-up that Luffy said was actually referring to this matter. It doesn't matter, I have already been offered a reward of 50 million, why don't I let my reward be raised? Shaking his head slightly, Luffy looked at the crowd below, and threw Crocodile's head casually, chin. Sir Crocodile. Read Luffy that bastard, damn it. Seeing that his head was thrown from a height to the ground by Luffy like that, Crocodile was about to explode. Don Quixote Doflamingo. You just have fun secretly. Aren't you going to be the patron saint of Alabasta? You see. Luffy has made you perfect. You are now forever living in the hearts of the people of Alabasta, and you are the eternal patron saint in their hearts. Fufurfur. Gecko Moria. Live in their hearts, Doflamingo, you can really talk, he. Guion. With what Crocodile did, he deserved his death. From this point of view, Luffy over there did the right thing. Sakazuki. That's right, the damned pirates should be killed on the spot. Naval Headquarters, Melindo, Co., Marshal, here is an application to revoke the reward order. Crane Vice Admiral came to Sengoku's office and saw a document left on Sengoku's desk. Sengoku frowned, he looked at Suru Vice Admiral with some doubts. Does this kind of application need to be submitted to me? Do you need to submit it in person? Take a look before you talk, Crane Vice Admiral smiled wryly and shook his head. Open files after Sengoku. This is the application report submitted by Colonel Hina. The content inside is probably, she went to Iron Barrel Kingdom to investigate about Wapol, and found out that what Luffy said before was actually true. Wapol has indeed ruined the Iron Barrel Kingdom for several years, and it is true that because of the Blackbeard pirates landing on Magnetic Drum Island, Wapol took his king's guard to become a pirate. In this way, the application for Luffy's most frequent order that she and Colonel Rocky submitted together at that time was a TV University mistake. Not only did they not kill innocent people randomly, but they also rescued the civilians of the original Iron Barrel Kingdom from the dire straits. After finding out about this matter, Colonel Hina felt very guilty. She rushed to Naval Headquarters overnight, and once she got back to Naval Headquarters, she wrote this reward application report to redeem the mistakes she made. Seeing the purpose of this application, Sengoku smiled, then revoke it. But there is another piece of information. Crane Vice Admiral gave a wry smile, and put another document on the table. Sengoku is a bit inexplicable, Tien opened it and took a look. You bastard. Killed the Shichibukai of His Majesty. This simply doesn't take us Marines seriously. Seeing the contents of the letter, Sengoku slapped the table suddenly, and all the documents on the table jumped up. However, Crane Vice Admiral sighed. I said that you were too confused, and you still don't see the point. Can't you read the name of this wanted person again? Name? Hearing this, Sengoku looks at this person's name. Monkey D. Luffy. This level of reward was not issued by Sengoku before, so this is the first time Sengoku has seen the reward about Luffy. He had a lot of work and was very busy every day, so he just focused on watching the incident and didn't pay much attention to his name. Now I heard Crane Vice Admiral's emphasis, and I noticed this person's last name. Monkey D? Sengoku's eyes popped, and he immediately looked at this person's profile. Age is about 16 years old, I have a habit of picking my nose when talking. Seeing this, Sengoku suddenly exclaimed, no way, is it the grandson of Garp's family? There is no doubt, he is Garp's grandson. The wry smile on Crane Vice Admiral's face became stronger. Damn it. Damn it. Sengoku takes this document and walks quickly in front of the calendar part to use it. Walking for a while, he stopped and said angrily, Garp bastard. He promised to train his grandson to be a pillar of the marine, but now his great-grandson actually killed the 7 warlords of the sea that we recruited with great difficulty. Crane Vice Admiral asked in a deep voice. What should we do now? Do we want to talk to Garp about this? Say it. Of course you have to say it. Let him, the old bastard. See what good things the bastard grandson he taught has done. Sengoku was furious. Then the revocation of the reward order. Crane Vice Admiral asked again. Sengoku was so angry that he said angrily, "What are you canceling? Give me an increase in the amount of his reward." Crane Vice Admiral took a deep breath. Then how much do you think is suitable for promotion? This kid can kill crocodile. The new bounty starts with at least 100 million Baileys. Considering that it is mentioned in the document that Crocodile has captured many pirates for the people of Alabasta, it can be said that he is a great hero in the hearts of the people of Alabasta. The kid from the Garp family killed such a person. The impact is extremely bad. The reward for him has been directly increased to 200 million Baileys. Sengoku decides. Alabasta, Imperial Palace. When Cobra found out what Luffy was doing in Rapeseed City, I was in tears. Is this the compensation for the 200 million Baileys? Hey. Compared to 200 million Baileys, your kindness is really too great. Princess Boudoir. Vivi also heard the news. She stood at the window looking at the direction of the sea. Her little face was also covered with grease. Luffy. Thank you. Mumbling, Princess Vivi puts the straw hat on her head. If Luffy is here, she will be surprised that this straw hat is almost exactly the same as his straw hat. This straw hat was made by Princess Vivi looking for a palace tailor. It is the same style as Luffy's straw hat. The only difference is that the edge of this straw hat is decorated with 10 small flowers, anal. When Luffy and his group left before, Princess Vivi actually had an urge to go out to sea with Luffy. However, after careful consideration, Princess Vivi still has no one to speak. Because she saw how close the relationship between Nami and Luffy was, she didn't know what it was like, so she never had the courage to ask to go to sea with them. Nami. Huh? Vivi over there seems to have a crush on the red Luffy too. Seeing the Luffy couple hat, custom made by Princess Vivi herself in the video, Nami was overjoyed. Before this, she was always teased by her friends, but now someone can share the firepower for her. Oh yeah. Nico Robin. Couple hat. Although the red Luffy over there doesn't know about it, maybe they will meet again in the future. Vinsmoke Sanji. Hey. Is there any way to do this? Why both Nami-chan and Vivi-chan like Luffy? Can't you all like me over there? Roronoa Zoro. Stupid curly eyebrow, please be quiet. Can you not come out and show yourself? Boa Hancock. My god, is Mr. Luffy over there so popular? Then my competition over there is fierce. Charlotte Linlin. Let you over there grab it for a while. Wait for the old woman over there to come out, use the crowd tactics, and definitely win the red road over there. Shiki. Linlin, you're so ambitious. You here already want to take down the Straw Hat Luffy, and you want to take down the Straw Hat over there too. Jihahahaha. Charlotte Linlin. Humph. Stay away. A few days later, on the sea. It has been several days since the Mary left Alabasta. A news seagull flew over. Nami made a gesture with his little hand, and the news seagull landed. Nami took out 100 Baileys and put them in Seagull Hung's front pocket, and then pulled out a new newspaper. The messenger seagull flew away. Wow. As soon as the newspaper was opened, Nami cried out. Beautiful Nami-chan, what happened? Please allow the knight to escort you. Sanji came over with a slip on his knees. Afterwards, when he saw the headlines on the newspaper, he opened his mouth wide in astonishment. Everyone will gather around soon. I saw that the reward order on the front page of the newspaper was exactly Luffy from White Fang with a big grin. Name. Monkey D. Luffy. Reward. 200 million berries. Crime. Killing Wapple. Killing 7 warlords of the sea crocodile. Affiliation to pirates. Temporarily unknown position, Captain. The rewards of Nami and Zoro are still 50 million Baileys. And then, there is one more, Chopper. A reward of 50 Baileys is offered, defined as a pet. As for the others, there is no reward for now. Of course, Buggy and Robin have bounties themselves, but because Marine didn't know they were on Luffy's ship, they didn't put Buggy and Robin's bounties in Luffy's unknown pirates column. Damn it. Even Chopper has a reward, but Usopp and I don't have a reward. Sanji flipped through the newspaper several times, chanting non-stop. This feeling makes him feel as if he doesn't get respect from Marine. This is troublesome. Even if Luffy doesn't want to be a pirate, this time he can only be a pirate. Zoro frowned and said with some displeasure. He is the first person to become Luffy's partner, so naturally he knows that Luffy has no interest in being a pirate. Luffy patted Zoro on the shoulder. Don't worry, we can call us whatever others like. Anyway, we only do what we want to do. He looked at the line, "Unknown Pirates," in the newspaper, and twitched his mouth. Since we have confirmed the identity of the pirates, why not give our pirates a name? Nami opened her mouth in surprise. Ah, really? Are you going to be a pirate? Although she was a little thief before, she is still fundamentally different from a pirate. Also, because of the dragon pirates, Nami hates pirates very much. It doesn't matter, if everyone disagrees, then this matter will not be mentioned. Luffy shrugged his shoulders, very carefree. No. I don't want to refute what you mean, I'm just a little sudden. But if it's your decision, Luffy, I fully support it. Nami clenched her small fists and pressed her hands in front of her. Buggy on the side heard Luffy say that. He was so happy. If there is anyone on this ship who most wants Luffy to form a pirate group, then Buggy and Usopp are definitely the top two. Seeing that Luffy has this idea now, Buggy immediately suggested, I propose, let's call it the Luffy Pirates. His own previous pirate group was called the Buggy Pirates, so now he naturally thinks of this name. No. Let's call it the Usopp Pirates. I used to be the captain of the pirates, and now it's just right to be your captain. Usopp excitedly recommended himself. Nami's armament hockey's fist landed on Usopp's head immediately. Then she showed the Murloc teeth emoji and yelled at Usopp, idiot. Of course the captain is Luffy. That's right. Nami-chan is right. The captain is Luffy. Sanji raised his hands with red hearts in his eyes. Of course, said Zoro. Chopper raised his little hoof. I have no objection. As for Robin, her opinion is not important. Because Luffy doesn't accept her as a partner now, but just made an agreement with Robin to let Robin stay on the boat to teach him archaeological translation knowledge. According to the agreement, when Luffy learns the knowledge of archaeological translation, Luo Chen will be free. Okay. Since everyone agrees, our pirate group will be formally established today. Looking at the partners, Luffy sets the tone. Then, he smacked his lips. However, I feel that it is a bit strange to use my own name as the name of the pirate group, so it is better not to call it the Luffy Pirate Group. Luffy thought for a while, modeled his straw hat, and said with a smile, this straw hat has witnessed the joining of each of our partners. Why not call it the Straw Hat Pirates? Straw Hat Pirates. Sounds good. Zoro nodded. Since it was Luffy's decision, I agree. If Nami agrees, I agree too. Okay. I have no objection either. Do you really not think about the name Usopp Pirates? Usopp lay down on the ground. In this way, the Straw Hat Pirates are officially established. Then, just draw the pirate flag. In this sea, every little famous pirate group has a special mark when they were children. For example, the red-nosed skull of the Buggy Pirates. Another example is the cat skeleton of the Black Cat Pirates. Another example is the red megalodon of the Dragon Pirates. It can be said that the most basic requirement for a qualified pirate flag is, as long as others see this pirate flag, they can recognize which sea it is. Thieves. The name of Luffy's pirate group is the Straw Hat Pirates, so the special logo is easy to think of. The special logo of the bandit flag. Afterwards, Luffy drew the pirate flag himself, scaring everyone to death. Then Usopp volunteered to draw a slingshot skull, and was hammered by Nami again. And then, Usopp finally drew the pirate flag of the Straw Hat Pirates seriously. As the sail with the straw hat skull slowly rises, everyone feels at ease in their hearts. In the corner not far away, Robin looked at the group of busy figures. Envy quietly arose in her heart. The organization this time seems a little different. Monkey D. Garp. Ah. Damn it. Why did you still go down the road of pirates? Shiki. Gia ha 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 ha. Didn't you Marines push you up? Gold D. Roger. To be more specific, Sengoku must be F** King forced. Every day with the Garp brothers, the former brother and the younger brother, this turned around and turned into a pirate for his grandson. It's disgusting. Bah. Rox D. Zebek. He, Tui. Sengoku, shut up. We over there don't know the truth about what Crocodile did. How could he not be wanted for such a serious crime as killing 7 warlords of the sea? Don Quixote da Flamingo. Yes, 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 yes. I want to tell you about this. Dotma blames the sand crocodile. Foo-foo-foo-fur. Sir Crocodile. Blame your mother. Clown, are you courting death? Don Quixote da Flamingo. Fu furfur. There are indeed people who are qualified to say this to me, but not including you, funny little crocodile. Sir Crocodile. Hee hee. Didn't you just get the reward from the movie viewing system? Don't be shy. Then after I get the reward, see if I don't kill you. Right now, the screen with the red border slowly dimmed. The screen with white borders gradually brightened. The screen appears. The Straw Hat Pirates have left Alabasta. They followed the record pointer and raced wildly on the sea. A lot of debris fell from the sky. Afterwards, a big dilapidated ship crashed down. And at this time, the record pointer on Nami's neck is like a hook in the morning, pointing firmly at Shen. Luffy, Zoro and Sanji went to sea to salvage the shipwreck just now, and finally found the map of Sky Island. Capone Beige. Sky Island? Could such a place really exist? Kid Eustace. Islands floating in the air. Impossible. You're rogue. What are you thinking? Of course Sky Island exists, because I am from Sky Island. Jewelry Bonnie. Sky Island really? How do these islands float in the sky? You're rogue. There is a sea of clouds composed of special sea clouds in the sky, and there are islands composed of islands in the sea of clouds. This is Sky Island. Shiki. It's really troublesome. Put the island directly into the sky, isn't it Sky Island? Gold D. Roger. Ha ha ha. Golden Lion, you are on a horse, ha ha. Afterwards, the salvage ship of the Ape Mountain United Army appeared. After the conflict, the 10 pedestrians of the Straw Hat Pirates relied on Robin to snatch the sheep from the captain of the Ape Pirates. In Magic Valley Town, the Straw Hat Pirates met Blackbeard, Bellamy and others. Afterwards, relying on the information Robin obtained, they came to the northeast corner of Magic Valley Town and found Mont Blanc Coolie Guy. When Coolie Guy explained to Luffy and others that he could board the Sky Island with the help of the soaring current, Luffy excitedly said that he would go, but Usopp strongly opposed it. Okay. I see, everyone give up on Sky Island. Ha ha ha, what a pity, Luffy. Luffy, this is too precarious. To put it bluntly, if you are not the lucky one of the lucky ones who gave birth to the lucky ones, you will never get there at all. Usopp tries hard to explain to Luffy how impossible the trip to Sky Island is. However, Luffy laughed. No problem, let's go. No problem. You will trust those rambling words. Usopp pointed at the Mary, bursting into tears. Look at the Mary, look at her bruises all over her body. How can she withstand the electric shock of the soaring ocean current? At this time, Coolie Guy said, that's right. Even if the ship is brand new, it will not be able to reach it safely. It will disintegrate in an instant at the moment when the soaring current breaks out. What? Hearing this, Usopp's expression changed. Coolie Guy turned his back to Usopp and continued, but you don't have to worry, the apes and orangutans will help you strengthen the hull. Oh ho ho ho. Leave this matter to us. The orangutan and the orangutan raised their fists and said excitedly. Usopp and Nami are sweating at the same time. These guys are really nosy. Then, when Coolie Guy said there would be a turbulent current tomorrow, Usopp exploded completely. He roared. No. You are lying. According to what you said just now, the chance of going to Sky Island is very illusory. But we just said that we can only stay on this island for 1 day at most, and you said that there will be soaring currents tomorrow? And we just met today, and you asked someone to strengthen the hull of our ship and escort us. How can there be such a good thing? Usopp was so angry that he put on a posture to fight Coolie Guy. You're rogue. Haha. This guy is obviously afraid of death. But at one moment he said that the boat could not bear it, and at another moment he said that the other party was a liar. Haha. I laughed so hard. Skulikmonip. Ah, blah, 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 blah. Monkey D. Luffy. That's not right. I've only cared about adventures since I was on this journey. but I never thought about the Mary. I also thought that Usopp was just using the Mary as an excuse. But now watching this scene again. Usopp, in fact, you were really worried about the Mary. Usopp. Haha. Why? I'm just scared. Seeing Luffy ask this in the chat room, Usopp burst into tears. At that time, he was afraid because he was afraid, but he was more worried that the melee would not be able to withstand the impact of the soaring ocean current. But now in the chat room, Usopp doesn't want to admit it. After experiencing the duel with Luffy in the capital of Seven Waters, Usopp has also matured a lot. He now understands one thing: sometimes, he has to protect the captain's face. Little Melly. Brother Usopp is lying. At that time, you cared about me. I can feel the intensity of the crew's concern for me. Usopp. Ah. Trafalgar Law. Ah ha ha. The person concerned has come forward to speak out. Gion. I thought he was using the melee as a cover, but who would have thought that sometimes the jokes that he casually said are the real thoughts in his heart. Monkey D. Luffy. Sure enough. Usopp. I'm sorry. I apologize to you and Little Melly. Little Melly. Luffy is great too. The next day, the Mary successfully arrived at the position of the soaring ocean current. Although the Blackbeard pirates came out to show their faces, the Mary still arrived at the sea above the sky without any risk. Of course, even if the melee has been reinforced, it still suffered a lot of damage under the impact of such a strong soaring ocean current. After entering the Gate of Heaven, the Straw Hat Pirates and their party appeared on Angel Beach, and they wantonly enjoyed the adventure here. But because I didn't pay the money when I entered the Gate of Heaven, I was regarded as an intruder. Afterwards, the Mary was sent to the altar of God by the Express Shrimp, and Nami, Robin, Zoro and Chopper were also sent there because they were on the ship. During this period, Nami, Robin and Zoro went into the forest to explore the way, and they met Luffy, Sanji and Usopp who came from the direction of the Lost Forest. When the 6 of them returned to the altar of God, it was already attacked by priests. No. The mast is completely gone. When he saw the messy Mary, Usopp was completely dumbfounded. I'm sorry. Usopp. I tried my best, but many places are on fire. Chopper's face was black and gray, wrapped in a bandage, and said sadly. He knows that Usopp has been tinkering with the melee all the way, and Usopp has a deep affection for the melee. When Usopp turned his head to look at Chopper, he immediately hid his sad expression and turned into a smiling face. The important thing is that you are fine. That arsonist must be very difficult to deal with, right? Fortunately, it was only the boat that burned, not you. I will fix it. Tony Chopper. Usopp, it turned out that you were in so much pain at the time, but when you turned your head to look at me, you still had to consider my mood. Woo woo woo. Usopp. Ah ha ha. What are you thinking? It's not your fault, that bastard priest did it. Monkey D. Luffy. I'm the captain. I ignore the Mary too much. That night, at Luffy's suggestion, everyone held a bonfire party again. However, after everyone has fallen asleep, Usopp gets up to pee. He was just about to go back to sleep when he heard a ding ding dong dong. Usopp was puzzled. He searched for the source of the voice of the wave of curiosity in the past few days. Finally, I was shocked to find that the voice came from the melee on the high platform of the altar. What's that sound? There should be no one on board. Because the fog in the Lost Forest is really too big, Usopp can't see clearly from a distance. You know, this is in the middle of the night. Listening to the voice from the high platform of the altar, it is still very scary. However, although Usopp is timid, but considering that the Mary is there, he still has the courage to go there. Through the layers of fog, Usopp is gradually approaching the altar of God. A gust of mountain wind blows away the fans. In front of the melee, a small figure wearing a goose yellow raincoat and rain boots, like a ghost, is beating on the hull. Aware that Usopp saw her, Little Mary the ship elf showed him his clean white fang teeth. At this moment, Usopp's face was distorted in horror, his eyes rolled over, and he hit the ground with a bang. Nami. Ah ha ha, this is the first time Usopp sees Little Melly. I fainted from fright. Usopp. Hey. At that time, none of us had heard of the legend of the ship spirit. In the middle of the night, we suddenly saw an illusory figure knocking on the boat. If it were you, you would definitely be scared to death. Nami. He. I won't admit this, Vinsmoke Sanji. It turned out that Usopp had met Little Melly at that time. Little Melly. Actually, I was completely born that night. Although I was conscious before, it was only a superficial consciousness attached to the boat. Brother Thorpe looked at my burnt body, and the fetters of caring for me in his heart completely activated me. Trafalgar Law. Amazing. Usopp is in charge. Usopp. The birth of the ship Elf, Little Melly, is not due to me alone, but to the joint bondage of all my partners, of course. My contribution is more than that of others. There are a little more people, haha. Afterwards, the Straw Hat Pirates and the God's Island side headed by God's Enel started a duel. When Luffy beats Enel flying with the Golden Euro, it also rings the lamp of Shandora. Wappa, the great warrior of Sandia, who was covered in scars, listened to the wonderful bell, and murmured. Did you hear that? Mont Blanc Nolando, I kept you waiting for a long time. I hope this bell can be passed on to your descendants. When the beautiful rhythm of the golden bell fell from the sky, a group of people from Kuligai on Gaia Island also heard this wonderful sound. Everything seems to be destined in the dark. The long-awaited bell of the Big Liar, 400 years ago finally rang again today 400 years later. Basil Hawkins. Mont Blanc Nolando. Who would have thought that the story of the great liar Nolando, that has been circulating in our North Blue for 400 years is actually a true lie? X Drake. Yeah. This is the children's story we all know at North Blue. It's been 400 years, it's unbelievable. How wronged was Mont Blanc Nolando back then? Trafalgar Law. If the Straw Hats hadn't struck the golden bell, wouldn't the story of the great liar Nolando continue to be passed down? Sakazuki. There is no one from North Blue who doesn't know this story. Now, under the broadcast of this viewing system, everyone in North Blue knows the truth. This story should be changed. Mont Blanc Nolando, the lamp of Shandora, finally rings again. Gold D. Roger. Nani. It's not. Edward Newgate. This name, is the Lord coming? Sengoku. Are you the Mont Blanc Nolando known as the Great Liar 400 years ago? Mont Blanc Nolando. Is it 400 years? It turns out that I have been dead for so long. Just now my consciousness suddenly woke up, and then I saw. The lamp of Shandora is lit. Shiki. Wow. People from 400 years ago. X Drake. Amazing. To be able to hear a household name from North Blue talking. Trafalgar Law. Yeah, it's a miracle. Mont Blanc Nolando. Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy. Mont Blanc Nolando. Thank you and your mates. Calgara. Nolando. As the parties involved in this incident, Calgara, like Nolando, just woke up and saw this scene. Mont Blanc Nolando. Calgara. Calgara. Nolando. Mont Blanc Nolando. Calgara. Ha 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 ha. The two didn't say anything hypocritical, everything was in laughter. At this moment, everyone in the chat room, no matter what faction they belonged to, all tacitly did not make a sound. Everyone gave up the stage at this time to these two good friends from 400 years ago. The laughter of friendship. At this moment, it resounds in everyone's mind. Although Luffy knocked Enel down with the last blow, Enel's ultimate move, Thunder Ying, still fell. The terrifying force of destruction completely destroyed Angel Island. Fortunately, the residents of Angel Island and Sandia have been evacuated to the sea, otherwise all the residents of this Sky Island will die. In the end, Enel took the Ark, Proverbs, and flew towards the boundless land, in his mouth. Don Quixote Doflamingo. Fu Furfur. As expected of Thunder Fruit, this devil fruit is too destructive. It just happened to meet Luffy, who is a rubber man and was restrained, otherwise, everyone in the video just now would have to die. Vista. Logia's devil fruit can't be worse. But that guy ended up flying to the boundless land. What is that? Gold D. Roger. Looks like a place above the sky. Golden Lion, have you ever flown up to see it? Shiki. Are you kidding? I'm not Logia. After reaching a certain altitude, I can't breathe. Charlotte Pudding. If it weren't for this movie viewing system, we would never know that there are so many magical places in this world. Sky Island is already amazing. I didn't expect that there is a boundless land above the sky. When the lamp of Shandora returned to the ground, the base of the golden bell was also exposed in front of everyone. It was a historical stone tablet. Robin stood in front of this piece of historical text and began to translate. while the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates took the opportunity to find gold. Robin looked at the text of the history and murmured. The location of the ancient weapon, Poseidon, with the name of God. Sengoku. Did you see? The identification of the historical text is all related to ancient weapon. The stone tablet underground in Alabasta was related to Pluton, and now there records the location of Poseidon in this historical text. Are there still people who question whether it was a mistake to eliminate O'Hara? Gold D. Roger. You can pull it down. There are so many identifications in the historical text, and there are only a few pieces that record the information of ancient weapon. It's just that Nico Robin was lucky, and happened to encounter the information of Pluton and Poseidon in succession. Shiki. I just love the part where Sengoku's old face is swollen immediately. Geez, ha 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 ha. Sengoku. Roger, you bastard. Stop talking nonsense. Edward Newgate. You are the one talking nonsense, right? Really? Even if you are shameless, you can't talk so shamelessly. Marshall D. Teach. So, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates knows where Poseidon is now. If we can catch this Robin, wouldn't we be able to find Poseidon? Monkey D. Luffy. Don't even try to touch Robin. I won't let you get this. Vin Smoke Sanji. Looking for Robin sauce. I can't kick you to death. Hey. Look, is the same text engraved next to the stone tablet? Just when Robin finished translating the historical text and was about to meet up with the Straw Hat Pirates, a Sky Island resident pointed to the other side of the stele and shouted to Robin. Huh. Noticing that there are texts on the side of the historical text stele, Robin was very surprised. Because she has translated several historical text steles before, but all those historical text steles only have words on the front. How can this piece have words on the side? She looked over immediately, and began to read in a murmur. I have traveled here and brought this article to the end of the world. There is also a signature. Gold D. Luo. Robin's eyes widened suddenly. It turned out to be the One Piece Roger. He has actually been to Sky Island? He can still write this kind of text. And Robin was as shocked as all the viewers. You know, Roger's words before his death opened the era of great voyages. No one could have imagined that he could actually write ancient characters. Is this the awesomeness of One Piece? Sengoku, Roger. Gold D. Roger. What? What's the matter? Empty, bastard Roger. Where did you take this history text? Gold D. Roger. Guess. Shiki. Gia ha 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 ha. Let me guess. I guess you took this historical text rubbing and brought it to Raftel. Gold D. Roger. Ah ha ha ha. Golden Lion, are you King a roundworm in my stomach? You guessed right away. Monkey D. Garp. Roger, what are you doing with that thing at Raftel? Crane. Garp, don't expose your IQ so much. Obviously, the big secret treasure he said when he was executed is this rubbing copy of the historical text. Kid Eustace. Nani? The secret treasure is just some words? Capone Beige. No way. If we finally reach Raftel, we will only see a bunch of text. Sengoku. That's right. Roger the bastard actually lied to everyone. If someone really stupidly arrived at Raftel, Shizukan looked at the pile of broken text and died on the spot. Sengoku was quick-witted and immediately realized that this was an opportunity to dissuade the pirates from going to Raftel. You're rogue. No way. Sir Roger, is this true? Skrichiman Apu. Ah biao biao. One Piece is not a lie before dying. Cavendish. Mr. Roger, please tell us the truth. Gold D. Roger. Ha ha ha. Sengoku can believe what he says. He has never been to Raftel. How would he know what I put there? Gold D. Roger. As I said at the beginning, I put all the treasures I have accumulated over the years as the One Piece in Raftel, of course. And all the rubbings of the historical texts I collected are also placed there. Gold D. Roger. Whoever can reach Raftel can get all my treasures, of course. You don't ignore the value of these historical texts. In my opinion, the value of these historical texts far exceeds the value of my treasures. Sengoku. Bastard Roger, stop talking nonsense. Don Quixote Doflamingo. Furo Furfur. Some idiots question the value of historical texts. Just the information of ancient weapon, I'm afraid it's not comparable to the wealth. Gecko Moria. Hey he 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 he. Capone Beige. Sure enough, the great secret treasure is real. Charlotte Linlin. Roger, now that you've been resurrected, start sharing the information on the historical text in the chat room. Shaki. Huh? Linlin, your proposal is good. Duo. Lousy is also interested. Monkey D. Long. Is such an important moment about to happen? Gold D. Roger. Ha ha ha. Don't even think about it. Those things are prepared for the next One Piece. If you want to get my treasure and the content of the historical text, go find them yourself. One of the reasons why I don't want to say it is because even if Roger says the content of the historical text now, it won't help. The man the times are waiting for. Only when that person arrives at Raftel in person can these historical texts come into play. To be honest, Roger has now basically confirmed that the person who is in the era is Luffy. But even so, even if he told Luffy everything he knew, it was still useless. Again, Luffy has to arrive at Raftel in person. Otherwise, ink sense. When so much information about Raftel's big secret treasure is revealed, people who are watching the movie are all aroused with ambition. All the treasures of One Piece Roger plus the historical text information that is countless times more valuable than the treasures. Such a big secret treasure. Enough to make people crazy. Naval Headquarters, Marineford. Seeing what Roger said in the chat room, Sengoku was furious. He was staring at Roger on the deck of the Moby Dick ahead. Angry girl. Chuanjay. You will destroy this world. Roger shrugged his shoulders and smiled lightly. Oh, then destroy. Ah. Sengoku felt the area around Hunku, a mouthful of reverse blood spurted out. By the way, little girl. Don't you want gold? I heard that in Qinghai, it is worth more than the earth. Chief Sandia pointed to the super huge golden pillar next to him and said, it is definitely impossible to give the golden bell to you, but I will give you this broken pillar. The residents of Angel Island next to them heard what Chief Sandia said, and they all agreed. What a great idea. We are thinking about how to thank them. This is a really good idea. Hearing this, Robin smiled. Really? Then they will be very happy. Seeing that Robin agreed, Chief Sandia immediately commanded. Everyone work together to move this pillar to the Qinghai people's boat. Yes. This is a gift to thank them for defeating Enel. Be careful. This is heavy. Wrap it with cloth, otherwise it will be difficult to move. Whether it's the angels or the Sandias, they all work together and start to act at this time. Afterwards, this over 20-meter long super large golden pillar was tightly wrapped in cloth strips, and with the combined efforts of countless people, it slowly walked towards the Straw Hat Pirates. Vinsmoke Sanji. Wait. This. Usopp. Ah. OMG. Nami. Ah. Let me die. Monkey D. Luffy. Ah. Shanks. What's the matter? Luffy, what's the matter with you? Gold D. Roger. Straw Hat Boys, are you collectively insane? Capone hyphenation point beige. This. What happened to the Straw Hat Pirates? It's scary. Trafalgar Law. The Straw Hats, what the hell is going on? Nico Robin. Ah, you will know when you look back. When the people of Angel Island and Sandia are working together to hold the golden pillar and go to the place where the Straw Hat Pirates and their party are, the Straw Hat Pirates are being called to go. Where is the cold gold item from the boa constrictor of the Overlord of the Sky? Why hasn't Robin come yet? It's so slow. Why is this place so empty? Where did those angels and gorillas go? Wouldn't it be better not to be here? Save them from chasing us. Yeah. We stole so much gold. Everyone is carrying a bulging package, which is filled with all kinds of gold treasures. Soon, they saw Robin and the people carrying the golden pillar. It's just that the gold pillar is wrapped in cloth at this time, and the gold cannot be seen from the outside. Luffy held up his hands and yelled to Robin. Hey, Robin, hurry up. We're going to jump and run with gold. Sanji suddenly said angrily. Bastard, keep your voice down. I didn't see so many people behind her. Yeah. The momentum is huge. Chopper was very surprised. Usopp held his head in his hands, breaking out in a cold sweat. Not good. They also have super cannons. At this time, Luffy showed a corner of his back with gold on his back, grinning and shouting. Look, we have a big harvest. Robin, run. We can't stay here any longer. After speaking, Luffy ran away. This time, the people of Angel Island and Sandia are all in a hurry. Why are they leaving in such a hurry? Hey! Wait a minute. Don't run. Everyone is carrying the golden pillar. Quickly speed up the pace and rush towards the direction of Luffy and others. But the Straw Hat Pirates were guilty of being a thief. When they saw these people speeding up towards them, they immediately panicked. Sanji was startled. No, it's revealed. Usopp is the fastest runner, and he still doesn't forget to say, wait a little longer. You told us to wait a little longer, so we just wait a little longer? Luffy laughed loudly. Hey, Usopp, please express some reflections. Usopp jumped onto the boat, then turned back and said boldly, we risked our lives all the way to Sky Island, to find the legendary Golden Town. Don't you want us to be empty? Are you laughing your teeth out when you turn your hand back, mouth? Ah? Catch what? Didn't you say they would accept this golden pillar? The people who watched the Straw Hat Pirates all ran away quickly, and the people of Sky Island all looked at Robin in a daze. Robin smiled. He. It seems that they don't want it anymore. Afterwards, Robin quickly ran to the Mary. The video plays here. The big screen with the color border slowly goes down. Puff. Just seeing this scene, everyone in the chat room burst into laughter. Gold D. Roger. Ha 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 ha. Damn it, they really made me laugh. Edward Newgate. These guys are really too polite. You don't even want such a big gold pillar, goo. Trafalgar Law. No wonder they look crazy at this place. Lol. I'd be crazy too. Capone Beige. I'm afraid I would commit suicide, ha 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 ha. Jewelry Bonnie. It's a sad story. But for us, it's too funny. Shaki. Damn. What a group of talents. Not long. The screen with the red border slowly brightened again. Under the night, the Mary is sailing on the sea. In Nami and Robin's room, Luffy is studying archaeology translation with Luo Bao very seriously. This symbol should be translated as big, right? Luffy pointed to a symbol composed of two small rings and a long cylinder, and asked. Yes. Robin nodded, and then she raised her arms and gave a long waist. She patted her mouth, yawned and said, study during the day and study at night. Are you going to finish studying early and let me leave early? Ah ha ha. Then you misunderstood. Not waiting for Luffy to answer, Nami on the side laughed. Luffy. He just wants to learn the knowledge early. As for other things, he won't go to the factory to think. That's right. When I first got on the boat, he came to me every night to read at night, and he learned all my sailing knowledge in just 3 months, Nami added. Hearing this, Robin felt a little more relaxed. Hey, Robin, can you tell us about what happened in Ohara back then? Seeing Luffy burying his head in his studies, Nami started 8 trigrams and got up. Although this is a sad story for Robin, but after so many years, Robin's heart has long been less sensitive. She smiled softly. No one will believe you if you say it, so don't say it. Is it about Buster Call? At this time, Luffy raised his head. If it's not a secret, then tell us about it. No one stipulates that what is said must be believed by others. Hearing what Luffy said, a difference flashed across Robin's cheeks. Luffy's idea is quite different. After thinking for a while, Robin began to talk about what happened in Ohara. The moon crows, the sound of the waves remains. When the fish belly in the east gradually lights up, a new day will come. On the deck of the Mary, the partners of the Straw Hat Pirates started their morning exercises. What about Robin Sauce and Luffy? Sanji looked around and asked with some doubts. Nami spread her small hands. The two of them got it very late last night, so let's sleep a little longer now. Hateful. Hearing this, Sanji's neck became thick with jealousy. Time to noon, Nami suddenly exclaimed, the record pointer is broken. Everyone looked over immediately, and saw that Nami flicked his wrist vigorously, but the direction of the record pointer was still pointing at the sky. Luffy narrowed his eyes slightly. Don't worry. It doesn't matter if it's broken, I'll get a new one somewhere. When I left Alabasta before, Luffy considered that the record pointers might be damaged due to accidents, so I bought a full 10 record pointers at Alabasta. Although the price of the record pointer is not low, but for today's Straw Hat Pirates, this little money is really not even a sprinkle of water. After a while, Luffy came out of the cabin with a livid face. Something is wrong. All the record pointers are pointing to the sky. What? This unscrupulous boss sold us all fake products. Usopp clenched his fists angrily. However, Luffy shook his head. Impossible. I bought these record pointers in 2 stores, so they can't all be fakes. And the record pointer in Nami's hand was given by Uncle Crocus. If there is a problem, it can only be there. Luffy points to the sky. Nami. Red Luffy is amazing, I found the problem right away. Vinsmoke Sanji. Hey, he took 10 record pointers, can't this find the problem? Monkey D. Luffy. Huh. This is a good way. We will also carry 10 record pointers when we go to sea in the future. Even if one is broken, there are still many spares, and we can also compare each other to check whether the record pointer is broken. Seeing that the red Luffy held out 10 record pointers at once, the white Luffy here shouted that this method is good. Trafalgar Law. Interesting. I also need to prepare a few more record pointers. Capone Beige. It makes sense. At this time, Luo Bao said seriously. Sky Island must have taken away the record. Sky Island? Everyone is full of question marks. Luffy asked suspiciously. Are there islands in the sky? What do they rely on to float in the air? No. To be precise, what floats in the air should be the sea. Robin made a slight speculation, but then she shook her head again. But I have only heard about Sky Island, but frankly speaking, I haven't read any literature about Sky Island. Sea. Hearing this, Luffy became even more puzzled. Seawater should not be able to float in the air anymore. If there is too much water, it should rain. Nami then echoed. That's right. This is impossible. How can the island and the sea float in the air? Maybe there is a problem with the magnetic field here. Robin shook his head. Nami, you and Luffy are both very good navigators. You should know that, as long as the record pointer is not broken. Since the magnetic field points upward, there must be an island above. Salvage, salvage, kang 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 kang. Salvage, salvage, kang 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 kang. Suddenly, there was a sound of gongs, drums and slogans on the sea. I saw a boat with a bow in the shape of a monkey playing a gong approaching here. Boys, have you reached the shipwreck yet? A burly figure leaned against the railing and asked. No, Sir Director. The crew members answered together. The burly figure asked again. Then why did you stop? The crew members continued to answer. Meet a ship, Sir Director. Hearing this, the burly figure turned around, and it turned out to be an ape man wearing earphones listening to music. He looked at Luffy and the others. What are you doing here? This sea area is my territory. I can salvage the sunken ships here. Luffy said. We just passed by here by boat, and didn't plan to fish here. But our record pointers are all pointing to the sky. Do you know what's going on? Hearing that Luffy and the others were just passing by, the ape man's face suddenly softened. He explained. There is indeed a problem with this sea area. Only the permanent record pointer can be used here, just like the permanent record pointer in my hand is a special guide to Gaia Island. Luffy nodded. I see. Could you please take us to the island you mentioned? We will also go there to buy a permanent record pointer. The ape man said generously. No problem. Just as we are about to return, you just follow us. Decks. Several huge figures suddenly appeared in the sky. Those people seemed to be giants standing behind the clouds, overlooking the earth. Ah! Run! Sail the boat! The crew of the salvage ship of the Ape Mountain United Army suddenly shouted in horror, and hurriedly set sail. The Straw Hat Pirates were also stunned by the huge figure in the sky. Because these voices are really too loud, even the two giants Broggy and Dory are very delicate compared to them. Is there really such a big person in the world? A question popped up in Luffy's mind. However, seeing the ship of the Sariyama United Army run away, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates did not dare to stay here. If you lose your track, you will just be floating in the ocean. Following the salvage ship of the Sariyama United Army, the Straw Hat Pirates arrived at the northeast corner of Gaia Island. The salvage ship docked, and all the crew members on the ship went ashore in a panic, lying on the ground and breathing heavily, obviously frightened by the movie in the sky just now. The Straw Hat Pirates also went ashore. Afterwards, they learned from the ape population that it is said that monsters sometimes appear in the sky in this sea area. They did not expect to meet them today. At this time, Mont Blanc Coolie Guy came out from the next room, and he was a little surprised to see the Straw Hat Pirates. But after the ape man explained, he had no worries. Afterwards, the Straw Hat Pirates learned about the cumulus cloud from Coolie Guy, and the so-called soaring ocean current, etc. As for the matter of Sky Island, Linley Guy said that it's just people's speculation. Huh? Isn't this the story of North Blue's household name? Suddenly, Sanji saw the storybook on the small table and exclaimed. Subsequently, Coolie Kate introduced his relationship with Mont Blanc Nolando again. So, I hope this matter can be found out before I die of exhaustion, Coolie Guy said. Uncle. Since there is a legend about Sky Island here, is it possible? Actually, the half of the island that Nolando mentioned didn't fall into the sea, but flew into the sky. After listening to what Coolie Guy said, Luffy asked suspiciously. As soon as this remark came out, Coolie Guy laughed out loud. Don't be kidding. Sky Island is just people's speculation after all, and the sky current brought up many ships, but none of them brought back the information of Sky Island. Those ships were finally proved to have fallen from another place and crashed. At this time, the setting sun began to set, and the sunlight slanted from Luffy's back, stretching his figure very long on the ground. Luffy looks at his own shadow, frowning sudden wrinkle. He turned his head to look in the direction of the setting sun, and immediately slapped his thigh. I know, those black shadows in the sky are actually people living in Sky Island. Sky Island really exists. Hey, Luffy, do you have a fever? Usopp hurried over and patted Luffy's forehead. Coolie Guy also said firmly, impossible. If Sky Island is full of those people, how big is the island enough for those people to live? Luffy shakes her head. No, they may not be big at all. How is it possible? Didn't we see it with our own eyes? They are really big, Nami said. Zoro also nodded. Yes. Luffy, those figures are really amazing. You got it wrong. Luffy pointed to his own shadow on the ground and said, look, this is my shadow. Due to the oblique sunlight, my shadow is at least 10 meters long now, but... Am I that tall? Hey, this. Hearing what Luffy said, everyone was stunned. Yes. Shadows can be deceiving. Luffy continued. Do you still remember those huge black shadows? They can move freely in 390 degrees, which means that the bodies of these shadows are definitely humanoid creatures. As long as their position and those cumulus clouds reach a certain distance and angle, isn't it reasonable that their shadows are placed so large? Usopp. Hey. It's so monstrous, it was analyzed right away. Trafalgar Law. The man in the red straw hat is insanely smart. Nico Robin. Just a shadow reminds me of the relationship between the position of Sky Island and Cumulus, which... Tony Chopper. We also had shadows at the time, but why didn't we think of it? Ben Beckman. I feel. Red Luffy's IQ may not be lower than mine. Shanks. Ha. Be confident and remove the possibility. Ben Beckman. Uncle. If we want to go to Sky Island, is there a good way? I judged in my heart that Sky Island exists, so Luffy naturally wanted to see it. The original ideal was to see the world, and now there is such a magical place as Sky Island. How could I not go? No. Coolie Guy shook his head immediately. This ship simply cannot withstand the impact of the soaring ocean current. Even if we help you strengthen the ship will still be damaged. What's more, even if you really go up, if there is no Sky Island on it, then your regret will be. Coolie Guy picked up a clod of soil, then let go of his hand, and immediately, the clod was shattered. Nami pulled Luffy's arm. Luffy. I also don't think it's suitable to go up. If the judgment is wrong, then we will be greeted by broken bones. Usopp said. If the melee bears the impact of the soaring ocean current, it may cause serious injuries. It seems that Luffy smiled. Don't worry about this. Don't worry. I cherish the melee more than anyone else. With me in the sky, the sea current will not cause her any harm. For sale. As for the consequences if there is no Sky Island in the sky, I have also considered it. Have you forgotten that I am a hot air balloon? Luffy said. Hot air balloon. Partners suddenly remembered that when Luffy fell off the head of Sea Kings, Luffy directly turned into a hot air balloon and floated away with the Mary. And Luffy said that the Mary will not be damaged by the soaring current. Although everyone can't figure out how to keep the Mary from any damage, everyone knows that Luffy will never lie to them. Since Luffy says it can be done, it can be done. Then, When all possible negative consequences are guaranteed, everyone seems to be full of yearning for Sky Island. Monkey D. Luffy. I really thought of everything over there. Compared with him, I feel that we were too reckless when we went to Sky Island. If there was any accident at that time, everyone would die because of my recklessness. Usopp. What are you talking about? How can I not understand? Nami. Stupid Luffy, we are one. Why is it because of your recklessness? That was our mutual decision. Capone-beige. Isn't that right? I remember watching the video before. Usopp and Nami were so scared to death, they didn't want to go, they were forced to go by the Straw Hat Boy. Usopp. When did you become blind? Nami. Obviously we decided together. Sister Robin, is that so? Nico Robin. Yeah. Vinsmoke Sanji, Nami-chan is right. Capone Beige. Trafalgar Law. Haha. Let you talk more. After listening to what Luffy said, Nami happily took Luffy's arm. Since we don't have any worries, then let's explore if there is any free time. Don't worry. We have to go to the town on the island to buy the permanent record pointer here. If we fall from the sky, if the record pointer is taken away by Sky Island, then we have to rely on the permanent record pointer to ensure our safe return to the island, Luffy said. Nami patted his head. Yes. As a navigator, I must have forgotten it. Robin on the side stares at Luffy. In such a short period of time, the shock in Robin's heart has increased several times. She couldn't have imagined that a boy who is only about 16 years old can analyze all the things in place in an instant, and even thought of the plan for the consequences of the day. See. Monster. What's more important is that such a monstrous guy is actually a studious and inquisitive existence. Such a person, no wonder his partners are so convinced of him. In a trance. Robin has a desire to join this group. At this time, Coolie Guy said, if you insist on going to Sky Island, then tomorrow is the time. Of course he doesn't want these people in front of him to make fun of his own life, but since Luffy just said that he has made a perfect plan, Coolie Guy will of course stop trying to persuade him. Besides, he also pinned his hopes on the group in front of him, wanting to see if Sky Island really exists. If Sky Island really exists, can these guys really discover things related to Nolondo in Sky Island? Luffy nodded. Okay. Uncle, we have to go to the town to buy some things first. Where is there anything here? There is a town in the southwest corner of Gaia Island, called Magic Valley Town, and there is a commercial street there. But you have to be careful, then you are a place where pirates gather, and you must not provoke those who cannot be provoked. Coolie Guy reminded. Pirates. When hearing this word, the eyes of the Straw Hat Pirates and the rest of the group immediately lit up. Paluzolino. Hey. What's the matter with those guys' eyes? Hina. This. As clearly the appearance that only appears when the eyes of money are opened. Trafalgar Law. Look at Nami, whose eyes have become the shape of Bailey. Nico Robin. Ahaha, it really is, Gold D. Roger. Ha 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 ha. These guys. How do they feel that what they hear is not the word pirate, but Bailey, ha ha ha. Guion. I can probably guess what they're going to do next. Mary sailed along the coastline of Gaia Island and finally arrived at the port of Magic Valley Town. Wow. These are all pirate ships. Looking at the densely packed pirate ships in the port, Nami's excited little hands pinched Luffy's arm. Get rich. Quickly calculate, how much does this cost? I will be in charge later to find out if there is a marine base nearby. The group of people have not disembarked yet, they are trembling with excitement. Afterwards, Luffy, Zoro, Buggy and Nami disembarked to step on the spot and buy things by the way, while the others stayed on the boat. The four of them stepped into the town, looking around. There are pirates coming in and out of the shops everywhere. Nami holds a thick stack of bounty booklets bound by herself in her hand, flipping through them as she walks. Hey! Look at that one. Rainy Night Butcher Samki, picture reward 2700 Bailey. Good. This is good. Brother Powell, the two add up to only 2100 Baileys, cut. This is not bad too. 30 million Baileys. Get rich. This time I really got rich. The four of them came to a shop specializing in recording pointers with a good mood. Boss. Here are 10 pointers to the permanent record of Gaia Island. The family is rich. Luffy will not pick and search when spending money. Okay. Grandpa. I'll get you some here. When I heard that it was a big dog, the owner of the store smiled ILI. Luffy stopped him and asked, "No hurry. Do you have a permanent record pointer to the next island? After all, if you fail to land on Sky Island, you may not necessarily land near Gaia Island when you land, so if there is a permanent record pointer for the next island here, then prepare it together. Be prepared." Yes. The next island is Lilith Island. How many do you want? There are still 10. Luffy said boldly. Okay. The boss was so excited that he brought over 20 permanent record pointers. After receiving the money, the store owner suddenly added, "That's right. Grandpa, there is a large marine base in Lilith Island, which is the 7th branch of Marine. If you are going there, you must be careful." The 7th branch of Marine? Still large. The four of Luffy look at each other. Isn't it perfect? Out of the store, everyone went to buy some daily necessities, and then returned to the melee. Through the record of the permanent record pointer, I calculated the time needed to go back and forth from Gaia Island to Lilith Island, and it will take at least 2 days. However, according to what Coolie Guy said, there will be a soaring current tomorrow. If you miss it, you can only determine the approximate time range next time. You have to confirm the time of the cumulus cloud again to guess the time of the soaring current. After thinking about it carefully, Luffy decided to go to Sky Island first. It's not too late to go to Magic Valley Town to collect after coming down from Sky Island. Sengoku. Damn. Are these bastards using Marine Base as a cash machine? Shiki. Look at your worthless appearance. Didn't they trade pirates for you? It's not for nothing. Sengoku. But the Marine Base soldiers will be beaten for nothing. Thinking of the Straw Hat Gang 5 going to collect the bounty, Sengoku can't help but feel sad for the Marines at Marine Base over there. Gold D. Roger. Haha. It's not your fault. Who told you over there to fulfill their bounties? Monkey D. Luffy. What kind of bird is Lilith Island? Why haven't we been there? Nami. From the nautical chart, the original route we took should be Drum Island to Copper Furnace Island, Gaia Island after Copper Furnace Island, Lilith Island after Gaia Island, and then the Long Ring Islands. However, the record pointer was taken away by Sky Island during our journey to Copper Furnace Island. When we came down from the end of the cloud on Sky Island, we were directly near the Long Ring Islands. Monkey D. Luffy. So it's like this. The next day. Northeast corner of Gaia Island, the Sariyama Allied forces and the Mary are dispatched together. According to the judgment of Coolie Guy, the Ape Mountain United Army quickly found the location where the soaring ocean current will appear. Mary arrives at the scheduled location. After waiting for about an hour, a huge Uzumaki suddenly appeared on the calm sea. Very good. The direction of the cumulus cloud is coming in the direction of Uzumaki, and it is. The ape man looked through the binoculars, and then shouted at the Mary, "Quick! It's now, let the boat go to the center of Uzumaki immediately." On the other side, the orangutan also shouted, "Don't forget to protect your boat. If you don't take any measures, your boat will be torn apart the moment the current surges into the sky." Got it. Thank you so much. Luffy waved his hand, motioning them to retreat quickly to avoid being affected by the surging ocean current. Luffy, we're approaching the Uzumaki center, is that okay? Usopp holds the steering wheel of the ship and asks nervously. You just open it, leave the rest to me. Luffy's observation haki has been fully released, and has been keeping an eye on the movement in the sea. Usopp. Where's their protective measures? Why haven't I seen it yet? If you don't act, it will be too late. Capone Beige. It's too late to act now, Jewelry Polly. Yes, if you want to strengthen the hull, you should at least strengthen it in advance. Gold D. Roger. What the hell is the Straw Hat Kid over there going to do? Marshall D. Teach. Shouldn't it be too big, and it will be directly wiped out by the soaring sea current group? Thief ha ha ha. Marco. Hee hee. Teach. Don't be so weird, boom. Suddenly, the terrifying vibration of an earthquake came from the bottom of the sea. Immediately, I saw that the sea surface suddenly had a tendency to bulge upwards. Luffy, I'm in. Usopp turned the steering wheel and pushed the Mary directly into the center of Uzumaki. Good. Luffy shouted, and suddenly his heartbeat resounded. This moment, his appearance has changed a bit. Hair turned into a state like a white flame. There are flowing clouds like white flames on the neck and arms. Phantom Beast Nika form. That is to say, at the moment when he transformed into the form of Nika, the melee under his feet was also instantly affected by him. The whole body is completely rubberized. Not only that, Luffy also carefully rubberized all his partners. Boom. Huge currents shoot out from the bottom of the sea. Not gush, instead, it shoots into the sky at an extremely terrifying speed. Mary is right in the middle of the raging ocean current. The bottom of the melee was suddenly sunken by the current, making the entire hull a V-shape with an arrow pointing upward. Under the power of the soaring ocean current, the V arrow left the surface of the sea and went straight to the sky. Paluzolino. Nani? He actually activated the awakening ability of the fruit. Kuzan. Hey. This method. Goldie Roger. It was unexpected. Don Quixote da Flamingo. This guy. He gave the boat the properties of rubber, so that the rushing currents can't cause damage to the hull. Www. Monkey D. Garp. Not only that. Look at the hull of the Mary. Hearing what Garp said, people took a closer look. F*K. And armament hockey. Good guy. The rubberization of the awakening ability plus high-level armament hockey. Even if Admiral attacks himself, the ship cannot be easily damaged. Monkey D. Luffy. He did it. He really did what he promised to the Mary. Little Melly. Our Luffy is working hard too. Nico Robin. No. Luffy over there missed one thing. Nami. What's wrong? Nico Robin. When we entered the White Sea, we passed through the White Sea. After entering there, Luffy's ability will be invalid. When everyone heard it, they immediately understood what Robin meant. Once Luffy loses his ability due to the effect of the seawater, the melee will directly bear the impact of the soaring ocean current, and it may directly explode in the White Sea. Not good. Everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates is deeply worried. The soaring ocean current went all the way up, and soon approached Cumulus Cloud. Luffy. It seems to be a sea of clouds. Nami looked up. Hearing the word, sea, Luffy's heart skipped a beat. Miss this. But. It doesn't matter. I still have a partner. Suddenly, Luffy shouted. Buggy, Zoro. Open the sea. The two looked up and immediately realized the devastating consequences of seawater. Buggy flew out with both hands, and flew up with Zoro. Kanglang. The three knives are unsheathed in an instant. He Dao with one word in your mouth, Chong Ding and another knife in your hand. 9 mountains and 8 seas form one world, and gathering thousands of worlds will form small 1,000 worlds. This world is multiplied by 3, and those who are selfless. 3 swords mysteries. 1 big 3,000 big 1,000 worlds. Zoro's figure is like an arrow from the string. 3 blades covered with nearly high-grade armament hockey roll endless blade wind. Whoosh. Zoro rushed into the sea of clouds above. It was as if a kind of shell had smashed into the ground, and the bottom of the sea sank in an instant. Boom. The top of the sea exploded with a bang. A figure spins out. The 3 knives were inserted into the scabbard in an instant. Buggy's hands hold Zoro's shoulders, making Zoro stand in midair. Zoro clasped his hands in front of his chest, posing in a herringbone shape, and looked down. In his vision. In the water of the White Sea, there is an extremely rough and bright channel directly below. In this passage, the Mary rides the wind and waves, and dives out. Hiss. When the scene where Zoro pierced through the White Sea and successfully cleared the way for the Mary appeared in the screen, almost all the moviegoers gasped. Vinsmoke Sanji. Damn it. That green algae head over there is so pushy. Beasta. This cut is so handsome, Jewelry Bonnie. How can this guy be so handsome? Gold D. Roger. Haha. This kid, he pretended to be it. Dracule Mihawk. This trick has a good name. Buggy. Hey, hey, hey. My uncle has become the foil of that guy. Monkey D. Luffy. Wow ha ha. Zoro can't fly so far without your hands flying out with Zoro. Your contribution is also great. Cut through the White Sea with one blow. To be honest, although it is difficult, there are still some swordsmen who can do this. Only. Using this slash in the background situation just now, the bonus to handsomeness and force is too great. Whether it comes from the trust of his teammates, or the degree of crisis to save the entire crew. All make Zoro's slash full of special meaning. It looks like a very powerful blow, but it symbolizes the complete trust between partners. The Mary rushed out of the white sea and soared into the sky. Wow! There is really a sea of clouds. On the splint, Nami tightly grasped the fence, looked at this other world that suddenly appeared in front of her eyes, and shouted in surprise. Luffy stretched his hands and legs, clasped the hull of the Mary, took a deep breath, and turned himself into a big fat man. Rubber hot air balloon. On the surface of the white sea below, the channel pierced by Zoro is refilled by the frenzied influx of seawater. As the hot air balloon Luffy landed slowly, the Mary landed on the sea smoothly. Slightly loosened the two legs, and found that the Meli has no sign of sinking. Luffy then loosened both hands. It's done. It's really possible to sail here, Luffy shouted in surprise. Robin raised his slender fingers and built a pergola in front of his forehead, looking up. She sighed. Sure enough, there is Kakai, but here is a vast expanse of whiteness. Where is Sky Island? Ah, at this time. Nami looked at the record pointer on his neck in surprise. Why is the record pointer still pointing up? Yeah. Hearing this, Luffy looked over, and then looked up. It seems that Sky Island is still higher in the sky. Robin also nodded. It seems that this is just the middle layer of the cumulus cloud. Then how should we continue going up? Chopper sat on the railing, knocking on each other with his short legs. Luffy shook his head. I don't know, but since this is the Sea of Clouds, we can look around. His observation haki is open, and there is no special place found for the time being, day. Anyway, it's rare to come to such a magical place. Let me try swimming in this sea first. Usopp smiled, took off his shirt and climbed onto the railing. Hey. We are not familiar with this sea area, and we don't know what's in it, so let's not mess around. Sanji smoked a cigarette and immediately reminded. But as soon as he finished speaking, Usopp jumped off. Luffy's observation haki immediately locked Usopp's movement. It seems that the seawater resistance in this sea area is very low. Usopp will go down immediately. Wait. Luffy just said a few words, suddenly his eyes widened. He hurriedly rushed to the side of the boat and punched the sea below. His fist rushed directly into the sea. 100 eyes bloom. Seeing this, Robin crossed his hands, opening many eyes on Luffy's palms and arms. Of course. Luffy doesn't need this, and Robin also knows that Luffy's observation haki can lock Usopp. She used this trick only because she was curious and wanted to. What happened inside? Luffy's arm quickly passed through the thickness of the white sea, and came directly to the sky below. Usopp sees Luffy's big rubber hands wrapping him around him in a horrified yell. With Luffy's arm retracted, Usopp is pulled onto the splint. Oh my god. I was scared to death. I went directly through the sea below. If Luffy didn't pull me back in time, I would definitely fall to pieces. Usopp breathed hard, he patted his own mouth hard. Sanji lit a cigarette and shrugged his shoulders. I said earlier that we are not familiar with this place, so don't be reckless. Look, it's almost over. No. The sea below has very little resistance, so it's easy to dive in. Moreover, the visibility in the sea is very low, and there is a vast expanse of whiteness everywhere. Otherwise, I would definitely not swim to the bottom of the sea. Usopp explained. Looking at Usopp's drowned look, Nami said slightly. That means as long as you don't swim to the bottom of the sea, you won't fall into the sky below, right? Yes. If I do it again, I will definitely not be so embarrassed, Usopp replied. Nami heard this, and stepped onto the railing. If that's the case, then I'll try 10 times too. Let's see if this Weihai will also have a curse effect on Devil Fruit's ability. Nani. Everyone is stunned. But if you think about it carefully, it seems to be right. Normal seawater will turn demon fruit power into a landlubber. I wonder if this Sea of Clouds will work too? Luffy remembered to save me. While everyone was still in a daze, Nami had already plunged into it. Then. Not a single bubble came out. Forehead. Perceiving Nami's situation, Luffy smashed his tongue speechlessly. He stretched out his hand and plunged into the water. His 5 fingers spread wide, wrapped Nami up, and then pulled it onto the Mary skewer. Nami leaned against Luffy weakly, and said depressedly, it seems that the Sea of Clouds has the same effect as the sea. Vin smoked Sanji. Damn. Red Luffy took advantage of Nami again. Roronoa Zoro, idiot. Nami over there is taking advantage of Luffy. Nami. Hey. Nico Robin. Ah ha ha. Suddenly, a shell bombarded me. Luffy's arms stretched out, his palms enlarged, he grabbed the cannonball, and then threw it back. Its speed is as fast as Garp's fistbone meteor. On the surface of the sea, a Sandia soldier was immediately bombarded and turned black. Luffy grabbed his arm again, and carried him directly to the deck of the Mary. This unlucky guy has already passed out. It seems that he was already passed out the moment the shell hit him. Buggy goes up to uncover this person's ghost mask, and then wakes him up with 2 slaps. Hey. Bastard. Why are you bombarding our ship so well? Buggy asked as he watched the Sandian warrior wake up leisurely. Damn intruder. As soon as he woke up, the Shandia warrior wanted to continue fighting, but was suppressed by Luffy's conqueror's haki, who was a little sideways. Luffy asked straight to the point. First, we are not intruders. Second, where is Sky Island and how to lose it? HMPH. Damn intruder. Sandia warrior turned his head, only this sentence. Hee hee. So tough. Luffy grinned slightly, and then said, take his equipment, then tie it up and throw it into the sea. Zoro and Buggy immediately unloaded the Sandia gorilla's equipment and tied it into rice dumplings. Luffy pouted at him. Last chance, do you want to say? Sandia warriors are still. Damn invaders. Great warriors will not let you go. Luffy's feet point a hook. The Sandia warrior fell off the boat. Luffy's observation haki locked him, and was surprised to find that this guy just struggled a few times, but didn't show any regrets and begging for mercy. Alright. Luffy's arm stretched, and when he crossed the bottom of the sea, he was pulled back. What? Don't kill me. The untied Sandia warrior looked at the equipment thrown back to him, and asked in a cold voice. Although I don't know what your people have experienced, but don't use the word invader to call others. Get out. Luffy kicked this Sandia warrior's ass, and kicked him flying. Why don't you kill him? Robin asked curiously. Luffy said lightly. Looking at his situation, it may be that his hometown has been attacked by invaders. But it may also be lying to us, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, we are going to Sky Island, and we will meet his people sooner or later. If they are a damned group of people, it will not be too late to kill him then. Then, the Mary continued to explore. Buggy's head is flying in the air as a spy. Finally, after sailing for a period of time, the group found the gate of heaven. Surveillance officer Amazon came out. If you want to go to the upper level, each person needs to pay 1 billion Aegis coins. This is the law. How much? How much? Hearing this price, all the friends of the Straw Hat Pirates were shocked. Nami opened his mouth even more. Besides, we only have Pele. I've never heard of Aegis coins. Bailey. Oh, by the way, you are from Qinghai, and 1 billion Aegis coins are equal to 100,000 Baileys. Everyone pays. 100,000 Pele will be able to enter. Surveillance officer Amazon continued. 100,000 Baileys. It's too dark. 7 of us bring a pet, and it costs 700,000 Baileys just to enter the door. Hey, if we come here to spend. Nami waved her small fist dissatisfied. Surveillance officer Amazon continued. Pets also have to pay 100,000 Baileys. However, if you don't want to pay this money, you can go in. Really? Everyone suddenly smiled. However, Luffy said directly, no, we pay. Since you said this is the law of this country, then let's do as the Romans do. Nami was shocked. Hey, Luffy, she clearly said that she can go in without paying. Luffy smiled. Let's pay for it. We have to pay for the entrance fee when we go to the amusement park. Now that their country has this regulation, we'll treat it as if we came to a place above the sky. I visited the amusement park. Ah. Okay. Hearing what Luffy said, Nami suddenly felt that it made sense. Take out 800,000 Baileys and hand them to the surveillance officer Amazon. Nami looked at the waterfall in front of him. So, shall we go to the upper level? Surveillance officer Amazon took out a whistle and blew it, and soon a prawn suddenly appeared on the bottom of the Mary. The moment the prawn held the melee with its pincers, Luffy's armed aura instantly covered Melee's mouth. Surveillance officer Amazon said, this is the Bai-Hai specialty, express shrimp, it will send you up. As soon as the voice fell, the express shrimp rushed towards the waterfall, and then under everyone's stunned eyes, the express shrimp actually climbed up the straight waterfall. Don't tell me, this speed is not very fast. Just as the melee was leaving, the surveillance officer Amazon took out his phone. Heaven's Gate supervisors view the Amazon report. Almighty God and all the priests, please impose heaven's punishment on the 8 illegal immigrants who went to the Holy Land of the Kingdom of God. Monkey D. Luffy, Nani, the old bastard. Nami. Damn it. We didn't pay the money when we went, and it's fine if she wanted us. The red Luffy over there paid the money. Vin Smoke Sanji. It is estimated that she is here not to accept money or not, but to intercept the images of Qinghai people entering Sky Island for Enel and his gang to hunt and kill for entertainment. Roronoa Zoro. It seems so. It's a pity that Luffy and the others over there are not only wanted, but also spent an extra 800,000 Baileys. Trafalgar Law. Not necessarily. The Mary over there has just gone not far away. Observation Hockey, who is in charge of the Red Straw Hat, must be able to hear the old woman's words. Express Shrimp took the melee and went up the waterfall. Luffy frowned suddenly. Go back. He ordered the Express Shrimp below. Robin opened his red lips in astonishment when he heard this. No way, are you planning to communicate with a shrimp? However, Luffy glared at the Express Shrimp, and the Express Shrimp, which was still racing all the way, immediately turned around and turned back. Huh. Why are you back again? Watching the Express Shrimp send the boat back, Surveillance Officer Amazon frowned. Come back and beat you. Luffy picked up the Surveillance Officer Amazon, and searched the 800,000 Bailey from her just now, Facing such a rude Luffy, the Surveillance Officer Amazon immediately yelled, Hey, hello. You bastard. I am the Surveillance Officer of the Gate of Heaven, you want to violate this. Is the law? There's a fart law. Luffy pouted, then tossed Amazon into the air. He puts his right hand in his mouth, takes a bite, and blows. Then suddenly stretched backward, rubber hyphenation point ape king gun. Boom. Surveillance Officer Amazon turned into a small black dot and disappeared into the clouds. What's going on? Everyone looked at Luffy in astonishment. Let's talk on the road. Luffy shrugged his shoulders, then glared at Express Shrimp. Express Shrimp ran to the waterfall with the Mary. Gold D. Roger. Haha. Good. This kid, he never stays overnight. Edward Newgate. Gu la 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 la. Being a pirate, that's how it should be. As long as you think it's right, do it without hesitation. Nami. It's so comfortable. It's so comfortable to see this old woman having bad luck. Usopp. This damn old woman, call her a bad heart. This time she will be sanctioned. Frankie. Haha. Super. Express Shrimp took the Mary to the top of the waterfall. Here is another cloud sea road that spirals upwards. There is a big hole at the end of the road that circles the sea of clouds. Whoosh. When the Express Shrimp flew out of the hole, it let go of the claws holding the Mary. Luffy used the hot air balloon to successfully land the Mary in the Bye-Bye Sea. What comes into view is a vast expanse of white ocean. You can see clouds like a beach not far away. In the distance, the clouds are like cotton candy, like countless hillsides. Above it, there is a staircase that looks like it was artificially built, leading to the top of the clouds on the hillside. Nami pointed to the distance in surprise and shouted, Look! There are so many buildings over there. It's Sky Island. There are really people on Sky Island. An island in the sky. This place is like a dream country. As soon as the Mary landed, Usopp jumped off. He walked back and forth a few steps and shouted, Come down quickly. These clouds are the same as the clouds at the Gate of Heaven just now. They can stand on them, they are very soft. Then, the members of the Straw Hat Pirates jumped down one after another. Come to such a magical place, no one is not excited. It's like a group of piglets just released from the pigsty, having fun and running. Watching the happy scene of the Straw Hat Pirates, Robin stood on the deck with mixed feelings. Before this, every time she goes to sea and lands, she has a purpose, and she must always be on guard against this and that. It can be said that the vigilance in her heart has been put down from the second mouth. However, at this moment, he looked at this situation, and it was rare for him to open his heart that had been on guard. Getting off the boat, Robin opened his hands, facing the wind, letting the sun shine on his face. It turns out that living in the sun is also a good experience. Look. It's an angel. Suddenly, Sanji has a red heart. Everyone looked over, and sure enough there was a girl with a super slender figure standing on the hillside and plucking the harp. This girl has straight legs, 2 small white wings behind her shoulders, and 2 butterflies with the same type of antennae on her head. After some exchanges, everyone knows that the girl is a resident of Sky Island. Her name is Conus. Conus invited the Straw Hat Pirates to her home, and everyone ate delicious Sky Island specialties. After dinner, Conus' father and daughter accompanied the Straw Hat Pirates to Angel Beach for a walk, ready to digest food. Luffy thought of the masked man before, so he asked, "By the way, we met a man wearing a mask and wearing skate shoes on his feet. Who is that?" Conus's father thought for a while, then nodded. "You should be talking about Sandia. They often send guerrilla music to Yuhai to stop the Qinghai people trying to enter Sky Island. They look very different from your father and daughter. Aren't they from Sky Island?" Luffy continued to ask. Conus's father also seems to be a chatterbox, so he started talking slowly. "This thing has been said for a long time. About 400 years ago, a piece of land in Qinghai was washed into the sky by a monster current. At that time, our ancestors had never seen the land, so they regarded this land as a holy land, and then expelled the aborigines on the island and renamed it Island of the Gods." Hearing this, Sanji was stunned. "Nani? So, your ancestors were invaders?" Conus's father nodded shyly. "It can be said so. And the Sandias have never given up wanting to take back this land. For this reason, the aborigines of Sky Island and the Sandias have been fighting for land for 400 years. Etc. Luffy suddenly interrupted Conus's father. He looked around suspiciously, and said, "That's not right. Aren't the people around here all the aborigines of Sky Island? But you don't live in your so-called Holy Land. The entire Holy Land seems to be only a few dozen people." Luffy looked around, and the surrounding houses were obviously located on this kind of cloud, not the field area. As for why Luffy knows that there are only a few dozen people in the entire Holy Land, it's because Luffy checked with observation Haki just now, and there is a land island not far from Angel Beach. On that piece of land, there are only a few dozen humanoid figures in total. "Ah. You know the Holy Land." Hearing what Luffy said, Conus's father suddenly showed shock on his face, and even the two-touched Kakuzu trembled. Luffy nodded, pointed to the south with his finger. "Yes, I can feel it, it's in that direction. Why are there only a few dozen people living in such a large piece of land?" This. Conus's father suddenly showed a look of embarrassment. Seeing that Conus's father couldn't answer, Luffy frowned slightly. "So, what you told us just now is actually a lie to us, right?" I thought Luffy was going to hit someone, but Conus's cheeks changed slightly and he shouted, "It's not that Eleven's father didn't lie to you. That place is now where God lives." "God?" As soon as the words came out, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates showed a black question mark expression pack at the same time. Ha 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 ha. The next moment, everyone burst into laughter. "Are you kidding us? How can there be a God in this world? Ha ha ha. What the hell, it's all a lie. We don't look like a fool, do we? Why lie to us with such absurd lies?" Listening to the laughter of everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates, Konus' father and daughter's faces suddenly became horrified. They were sweating and trembling nonstop. "Don't say it anymore. Please don't say it anymore. Our Sky Island really has a god. If you offend the god, you will be punished by the god." Konus can clearly feel that everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates does not take God seriously. Once you really offend God, it's over. Is there really a God? Recognizing that the emotions of Konus and his daughter are not faked, Luffy stopped laughing. Konus nodded quickly. "Of course it's true. God is high above. He can know everyone's thoughts. Don't be disrespectful to him." Luffy understands. The two people in front of me have been brainwashed by the so-called God. He said in a deep voice, "Actually, there is no God in this world. If there is, then someone must be pretending to be a god." As soon as these words came out, the faces of Konus' father and daughter suddenly became terrified. And at this time, the sky suddenly became so bright. The panic on the faces of Konus' father and daughter is rendered more realistic. Everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates looked up at the sky, only to see a rapid cluster of lightning suddenly appearing in the sky. Like a thunderbolt waterfall, falling down violently. Konus' father and daughter are desperate. Luffy instantly enters Nika form, then raises one hand and opens it to the sky. Boom. All the violent lightning beams hit Luffy's palm, and then there is no more, Even if some splashed lightning ripples fall on other people, it is impossible to cause any effective damage. Of course, Luffy has already used rubber assimilation on them. No matter how strong the current is, they can't hurt them. Ah. Kona's father and daughter are sitting slumped on the ground with their mouths open and their pupils widening. They couldn't believe that someone could resist God's sanction. Originally they thought they would be affected and die, but now not only did they not die, they didn't even hurt a single hair. How can this be? Nami. Oh my god. It actually made everyone rubberized. Red Luffy is really capable and can do whatever he wants. Monkey D. Luffy. Oh. In comparison, I was so embarrassed. Roronoa Zoro. You are not the only one who is embarrassed, we are all embarrassed too. Vinsmoke Sanji. That's right. Idiot green algae head, look at the green algae head over there. One knife breaks through the sea and opens the way for Melly, how handsome. Look at you again. Roronoa Zoro. Hey. Thanks for the compliment. I thank you for me over there. Island of the Gods. As soon as Enel was punished, he was about to eat the fruit sent by his servant, when suddenly he froze. What's the situation? Why hasn't a single voice disappeared? There are still so many people. Enel is dumbfounded. His divine sanction has never missed. Damn it. Guys from Qinghai survived from me. No, no, no. This kind of thing is absolutely not allowed to happen. Extra large God's punishment. Suddenly, he used Thunderfruit's ability again. On the steps of Angel Beach, the father and daughter of Konas who just experienced the rest of their lives before they had time to breathe a sigh of relief, suddenly their faces froze again. Come again. Usopp shook his head in annoyance, then simply sat down on the cloud steps and looked up at the sky, as if watching fireworks. Luffy also frowned. Is there something wrong with this guy? His Nika form is still there, and the assimilation effect is still there. Raise your hand again. Luffy propped up the sky for everyone. The lightning cluster, which was nearly 10 times thicker than before, disappeared without a trace again. Luffy looked at the Konas father and daughter. This guy who discharges is the god in your mouth. Both father and daughter are numb at this time. Nodding dully. Well, yes. Yes. Luffy shook his head speechlessly. Then you have been deceived. He is a shit god, he is just a lucky guy who ate thunder fruit. Finally, he connected with what happened just now and thought about it. I almost understand. To put it bluntly, the god you are talking about is a guy who rules you by virtue of fruit power, and this guy doesn't take your life at all. Thing if the thick lightning cluster just now really fell, and if there is no rubber fruit assimilation, the Konas father and daughter will definitely die. Enel didn't get the effect twice in a row, the whole person was shocked. This made him lose face. Bastard. Where did these guys come from? With a bang, Enel stood up from his position. He turned into a flash of lightning and disappeared instantly. Angel Beach Luffy and his team didn't wait for the third lightning strike, so they brought Konas and his daughter to Angel Beach to relax. Sanji looked like he wanted a hero to save the beauty, and said, Sister Konas, what is the situation with your magic stick? Can you tell us about him? Don't embarrass them, they won't say anything. Luffy patted Sanji on the shoulder. Ah? How do you know? Sanji has a puzzled expression. In their cognition, that guy is really like a god, holding the power of their life and death. We can ask them so easily now because we don't care about that guy. But they are different. They are afraid that even if they say something wrong, they will be accounted for by that guy, Luffy explained. Listening to what Luffy said, Robin was shocked. Even considering the fear of Konas and his daughter. So his heart is so delicate. Thinking of this, Robin smiled and said, yeah, Luffy is right. Let's not ask them. After we get rid of that bastard god, they will definitely say it. Actually, there is no need to look for him, that guy is already here. Luffy looked up at the southern sky while talking. Everyone also looked at the past. I saw a bolt of lightning flashing through the sky at a very high speed. In the blink of an eye, we have arrived in front of everyone. After the lightning hit the ground, it instantly condensed into a human form. Western region style clothing, with a white headscarf, a diamond rod in hand, and a drum on the back, say. Luffy looked at the weirdly dressed guy in front of him, and asked calmly, you are the one who plays tricks on Sky Island. Yeah ha ha ha. Ignorant idiots. Call me God Enel. Picking out his ears, Enel laughed loudly. Idiot. Listening to Enel's speaking style, Luffy shook his head speechlessly. Then, he stretched out his arm and instantly grabbed Enel's head. Pull back hard, and Luffy's knee pops out. Armament Haki winding. Conqueror's Haki winding. There is no doubt that Luffy doesn't like the turn-based battles where you hit me. Since you want to make a move, let's get it done quickly in the simplest and most effective way. Facing Luffy's attack, Enel laughed. He doesn't know armor color and conquerors. He only knows that he will not suffer any harm. Boom. Enel's world is instantly dark.